What up? What up? What up, man? It's your boy Two Raw TV Uncut, man. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode, the Raw Way, man. We're gonna do this coffee and conversation this morning. I'm on my black coffee, straight black, straight like that, straight black and straight like that. When y'all come through, man, let me know how y'all got y'all coffee this morning. How y'all coming with y'all coffee mugs and y'all coffee cups and y'all coffee jugs. How y'all coming this morning? Iced coffee. What y'all got in your cup this morning, man? But yeah, man, I want to have some grown folks talk today, some grown conversation today, cause we all grown up in here. You know what I'm saying? So, man, as everybody come up in here, everybody come through the door. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go and get the intro out the way. Good morning to the one person came in here. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button for your boy. Don't forget to do that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm gonna go in and get this intro out the way while I'm out here stuck in traffic the dumb way. You know what I'm saying? But let's go, man. Y'all hit the like button, drop gorillas in the chat. How you drinking your coffee this morning? How you coming? Let me get the intro out the way, man. Y'all hold on. We're gonna get a good show in today. Let's go. And the panel open. I'm about to drop the link right now. Let's go.
Get up on my level, get up on my level. Bring my dog out the slam. Love my children and they mamas. They clutching my hammer. Say they killers and I'm one of them. I'm love for the weak. All of the strong survive these streets. I put myself out of reach. Got tired of peeling off the leash. You can cover all your scars up in diamonds, but it's still gon' hurt. Say you love me will show me that shit for real. They play with luck up that type of shit get you killed. You can cover all your scars up in diamonds, but it's still gon' hurt. Beefing with my chick while I'm in jail. Try not to click out by restriction, can't make bail. How's it going, but all is well. I ain't called in a minute, ain't balled in a minute. Can't wait to see them stars on the ceiling, free all of my head. Reaching this chain, I'm waking your people, I'm with all that. Sorry for who you is, I ain't hesitate to fall back. Making my feel again, I ain't letting no number again. Only chasing paper, women come when you get the win. Sitting on my health again, reinventing myself again. Maintaining my elements, 63 that AMG, I'm leaving them in the wind. Heard they sleeping on me, I'm cool, they ain't on my level. Then get up on my level. Slowly pacing, lonely places. Imitators hate me cause I know they faking. Sitting up at the top, the spot was open vacant. One foot in the game, my soul is not for taking. I got the slam. Love my children and they mamas. They clutching my hammer. Say they killers. And I'm one of them. I'm love for the weak. I'm really strong, survive these streets. I put myself out of reach. Got tired of peeling off the leaves. You could cover all your scars up in diamonds, but it's still gon' hurt.
Still gonna hurt, y'all.
Say you love me will show me that shit for real. They will look up that type of shit get you killed. You can cover all your scars up in diamonds, but it's still gon' hurt. I might not know too much about flossing. I could tell you about hard hair, dirty clothes, dirty sneaks, getting teased, having hard days. All for everybody out there seeking peace through the hard break. Sometimes I'm not at ease. It's hard to sleep when my scars are for help by winning. Everyone willing to lend a hand. You fall off on your ass, forget it, you been not ass. Oh, look in the water with water moccasins fast. If a snake dropping your boat, ain't no need it more in the grass. Friends licking songs, okay, I know it's my bad. Niggas mistaken trusting when their intentions was bad. Scored out the trenches, resilience they never had. Be who you trying to be, but you can't compete with my swag. Slowly pacing, lonely places. Imitators hate me cause I know they faking. Sitting up at the top, this spot was open vacant. One foot in the game, my soul is not for taking. Dog out the slam. Love my children and they mamas. They clutching my hammer. Say they killers and I'm one of them. I'm love for the weak. Really strong, survive these streets. I put myself out of reach. Got tired of peeling off the leashes. You can cover all your scars up in diamonds, but it's still gon' hurt. Say you love me will show me that shit for real. They play with luck up that type of shit get you killed. You can cover all your scars up in diamonds, but it's still gon' hurt.
You can cover all your scars up with diamonds, and it's still gonna hurt. That's deep, boy. And that's deep. You can cover with designer. You can cover everything. Hey, just because you put designer shades on, them designer clothes on, and all of this stuff, them shades can't hide it. Hey, they just hide it, but it's still there. All that stuff you hide it, but it's still there. You know what I'm saying? It's still there. You can see it. It's still there. You just not putting it out there for the world to see it. But yeah, I want to talk about. I want to start the show off. I want to start talking about like how last year I was talking. Well, let me break it all the way down. So I was talking to one of my friends on the phone, and I was telling him about. I was like, man, look, I said this gonna be the year. This right here, Cat Williams said it best. Cat Williams said that this gonna be the year of revealing. Everything gonna get exposed this year. Everybody gonna get exposed, and it's not just the industry people, not just big higher up people. I'm talking about people in our lives. We done seen the real, true people like in our lives. I'm sure the 4 people that's watching right now, I'm sure one of y'all or all of y'all that seen somebody show their true colors or something this year. Somebody got exposed. Somebody in your life, a friend, family member, co-worker, somebody exposed some shit this year to you. So I was talking to my friend, I say, what next year gonna bring, man? Like, what next year gonna bring? So me sitting back, just seeing the change in families and like this it's about to be wintertime, y'all. We about to come into the wintertime where everything must die. Everything must die. You know what I'm saying? And this year that's coming up, it's going to be a new rebuild. Broken families going to be. I'm speaking this like for real. Broken families are going to start building and coming back together. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about like mamas with their daughters, mamas with their sons, daddies and their sons and their daughters, friendships. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not just talking about the ones that are not supposed to be in our lives and stuff. I'm talking about the people who's supposed to be there for real. Your friends and your family members, people who show their true colors. That when they come back, it's going to be a rebuild next year. But one thing about it is, right? We gotta rebuild too. We gotta rebuild too, cause maybe we showed maybe we revealed some stuff that we didn't even know about ourselves, like unintentionally, like we showed some stuff too, like, you know what I'm saying? So we all gotta like be a part of the rebuild. Teamwork make the dream work. So look, some people that's supposed to be there, you know they're supposed to be there. Your sons, your daughters, brothers and sisters that's beefing, like all that stuff, like co-workers and whatever, man. Like I'm not saying to loud bad people back into your life, but if you know people like really didn't mean harm when they did what they did or whatever, it just had to be revealed so it can be worked on and fixed. You feel me? I got 5 people in here, man. Y'all listening, right? I hope y'all smash the like button, though, man. Smash the like button. Smash that like button. Mark St. Patrick, what's up, man? From that Dallas Fort Worth, what they do? You say some things can't be rebuilt too raw. That's why I say with the right people. You know the ones that can't be rebuilt, them the ones that you leave it like that, man. You get peace with it and you leave it right there. But it's some stuff that can be rebuilt, and it need to be rebuilt, and it had to be exposed so it can be fixed. You know what I'm saying? It had to be exposed so it can be fixed. Like you ever had a car, right? And you had a small problem happen to it, and you went to go get that small part fixed, and they say, man, I'm glad you brought it in here, boy, to get that fixed. Because now I see this other big stuff that you was about to have some real problems, bro. If you ain't fixed this the other part was about to go. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that, bro. Now if your transmission blown, man, some people transmission blown in our life. Don't get me, Dave. I feel you on that. Some people, they transmission just blown in our life. Ain't no coming back, bro. Like, man, I might as well I gotta get a whole new motor. I gotta do all, you feel me? I feel like with solid people, things won't break. Nah, bro. Don't think that. Don't think that, bro. Don't think that, Mark. With solid people, things don't break. I'm gonna ask you this, Mark. You a solid person? You solid, Mark? Things break, bro. Things break all the time. Things break, bro. With solid people, things don't break. No, I'm gonna say this, Martin. Nobody perfect, bro. Nobody perfect. And sometimes things be like misunderstood, but like, you feel me? Everything deserves a second chance, bro. So you a solid person, Martin. So, all right, now I want you to answer truthfully now, bro. Truthfully. We drinking coffee up here. This grown folks over here. Grown folks on there. I wish you could hit the panel, bro. You busy right now, or you can come up or what? You busy? You say, nah, solid is solid. Ain't no way around it. I feel you on that too. But some things like happen, bro. Some things happen, bro. Like everybody's solid ain't, you know what I'm saying? Everything solid ain't, everybody, things, I'm gonna say this to say this. Mark, have you ever done anything and you ask somebody to give you another chance for doing it? Like you ever done something? I'm at work right now, bro. All right, dang. All right, so look, have you ever asked for forgiveness from somebody that you unintentionally did something to somebody? Have you ever done anything in your life unintentionally to somebody that you cared about? And you be like, dang, man, my bad, I'm sorry, bro. Now, you ever had to ask for forgiveness for somebody? So we getting there now. We getting there, we trying to rebuild. Have you ever in your life done something and been like, and had to ask for forgiveness for it? Say, I've done things, but it was, circumstances that caused it. So that, but it's okay, so the circumstances that caused it, right? I can't sit up here and say like, that don't make you a solid person, like, you know what I'm saying? And it depends the circumstances too, but like, we can't use the circumstance to say like, I'm not saying that you use it as an excuse, but like sometimes we throw stuff out there and be like, yeah, but it's always a but. It's always a but, like but, no, but nothing, but you did something, bro. Like even if the circumstances cause you to do something, we shouldn't be able to control our actions to the point where we be like, no matter what this person did to me or said to me or whatever, like, I ain't finna scoop that low, like, you know what I'm saying? And then if it was the circumstances that caused it, like you had to go, you went back and said, man, forgive me for that. You know what I'm saying? So it don't make you less of a solid individual. When you say circumstances caused it, you moved off of, I'm just saying, like, I see it as like you moved off of your emotions. Like how you was feeling because that person did that. That's a breaking point in a solid person's life. Feel me, dog? That's why I say like sometimes we know though when people do stuff and we be like, hell nah, ain't no coming back from that. Ain't no coming back. Feel me? So yeah, like, but we all gotta accept our accountability in the roles that we play in order to begin to rebuild. The power is always in us, the people. So if we wanna take it to the next level and begin a rebuild, like to build it back up and make it stronger so it don't fall apart like it did the last time, you gotta be able to goddamn like both of y'all, hey man, I messed up, bro. Like, man, like it's like it being love between us, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Dap that shit up and keep it pushing. Like, wait. The rebuild takes two. You say, nah, the circumstance. Hold on, Mark. I'm trying to drive. Erica busy right now, so he gonna come up here and help me read these things while I'm driving. coming through these little roads over here, Mississippi. Nah, the circumstances I'm talking about in that particular situation was around substance. Oh, I feel you on that. I'm just saying though, bro, like we be doing stuff and we be dang, bro, how could I say this? Hey, the word for the day gonna be accountability, dog. Accountability on both parts, bro. That's how the word today gonna be accountability on both sides. Like every action is a reaction for every action. Like nothing happens for like no reason. Like you feel me? Nothing happens for no reason. But like the only way we gonna rebuild is to elevate and grow in life. You know what I'm saying? And healthy relationships, friendships with our children, and relationships with our family members and our people and shit. Like it's gonna take everybody to be like, damn, like enough of this shit, like for real, like you know what I'm saying? Like that's my people, that's my brother, that's my sister. E on here, E vouching. Hey, E just come. For real. So St. Louis in the building. So St. Louis in the building. E, if you want to come up, you can come up. The link in the chat down there. So I'm talking about like a new rebuild. Something like what we were just talking about on the phone. Like a rebuild. And it's crazy that we talking about this right now too, because like me and E was just talking on the phone and she was telling me about like how stuff going, like I don't know if she want to explain it with us. I'll let her tell it if she want to tell it. Hold on, I think this her coming up. Mark at work. Yeah, I see. Let's get it.
Good morning. Good morning.
What up, E?
Is that my Mark down there? Is that my Mark in the chat? I gotta catch his live. You know, Mark dope, bro. Mark got his channel going, and Mark is dope. We gotta catch his live.
Yeah, I'm gonna catch Mark live. I've been busy, man. I've been real busy out here.
Yeah, I have too a little bit.
Mark live.
Yeah, Mark, that's the only reason why I haven't caught it, because I've been a little busy. But you better bet your last dollar I'm coming.
Yeah, I'm coming too, man. I'm gonna hit your panel too, bro. Like you drop the link, I'm pulling up.
Absolutely, Mark. I don't hit everybody panels, but I'll be on yours. Yeah, what you talking about, bro, when I came in?
Now, I was just telling everybody about like the rebuild and like how this was the year of everything getting exposed, like Cat Williams said, but it's the year of the rebuild. But in order for us to rebuild, everybody got to accept their part in that shit and what's going on. And I was gonna tell them, but I don't know if you want to tell them about like what we were just talking about on the phone and how things just played out, how it did, like.
Oh, you know wow. Like, well, first of all,
your mic out, Mike.
No, I got you. At this point of life, I just treat people accordingly, because once you're an adult and you set in your ways, ain't no fixing or changing people the way they think or feel. So at that time, you just treat people accordingly. No, it's sometimes it ain't no. You just gotta forgive and not forget. You know, but like Mark said, I seen one of his comments. Some of these people is just a lost cause. You know, misery loves company, and we got to leave them people where they are and keep moving on.
Yeah, that's those people. So that's what I was saying too. I was like, some people we know that their transmission just gone out, and you be like, damn, they just done. Ain't no coming back for them. But it's certain people out there too who like, you be like, man, that's my dog. We grew up together, and you know what I'm saying. And it might be some little small stuff between y'all that could be fixed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you fix that with your real friends and shit like that. You don't just hold them accountable for like ever for some shit they did that was a mistake.
Man.
So Mark was like, Mark say solid is solid and ain't no breaking solid. And I'm like, solid do break. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it break unintentionally, like, you feel me?
Well, yeah, at that time, that's when you gotta question it because if you solid, why did it end? Why wasn't a conversation good enough to amend it? You gotta question other people motives too. Like me and
Yeah.
you two are, we have no reason to have ill feelings or nothing towards each other. So why would our
Unless we have a
relation
misunderstanding between each other and then our feelings get involved.
right?
That's what
But
I'm talking about
then
right there. We
but
solid.
we so solid to where we should be able to have a conversation and be like, okay, I understand where you come from. Okay,
But
cool.
that'll be after the fallout though. Like if me and you ever fall out, we gonna come back and be like, man, that shit was some bullshit. My bad. There was all the things that we might not say we have a fallout over a misunderstanding and we don't talk for 2-3 weeks. But we gonna come back and talk eventually, and when we talk, it's gonna be like, man, my bad. Da 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 da. I don't expect you to hold me accountable for some shit some shit I said or did out of emotions and shit at the time because I took some shit the wrong way. I expect us to be able to be like, you know what, we better than that shit. Like we gonna talk this shit or whatever. Like you feel me? Like and we'll be back rocking or whatever.
Right, but that's one scenario, Raw. You got people out here not secretly not liking their friend. And then
And
when
them the
they
ones who
fall out,
transmission be broke.
right. And then when they fall out, you find out that they really wasn't my friend in the beginning. So you got different scenarios out here when it comes to friendships. People faking to be friends, faking it till they making it. Using that my phone. So people use you as a benefit as long as you're around, and then you find out like, damn, they was just using me for what I had or for who was around me just for my light. It's different kind of scenarios. So I understand what you're saying and what Mark is saying, but it got to be two solid people. But some people, it's not an equally yoked relationship. Some always in the corner hating, and you like, damn, that was my partner though. Everything I had, she had. Everything he had, I had.
That's why I say like it's some people out there who just ain't no coming back for their ass. Like, but it's some people out there who like deserve a second chance. That's why I asked Mark. I say, were you solid? He like, yeah. Then I said, you ever asked for forgiveness for some shit that you didn't mean type shit? You ever did something and you had to go back and ask your friend for forgiveness? You like, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? It's the circumstances though behind it that made him do the stuff that he did. So I just feel like it's like people. I feel like I'm the type person anyway. I just feel like people deserve second chances. I give a motherfucker second and third chances sometimes.
That's right.
But that's just how I
Huh?
am.
I said, what's the sense of this ice if it's blocked up? I had to break it up for you so you ain't got to rescue it.
Well, give me 1 second, Ron. I'm sorry.
All right.
Yeah, just sit it in there, then I'll fill
Yeah,
myself up.
I agree with her too.
Yeah,
I
no,
agree
I
with
see what you're
I
saying.
agree
Here
with
go,
all
here
y'all.
go. You saying now? Here go Aunt Raw.
And well, what up?
What you on, bro?
Out here sliding, man, on my way to Florida. Shit. Cooling with your bird, nigga.
Yeah, man, you already know. Yeah, still I ain't no bird. Yeah, what's up with you, man? You been straight though?
Yeah, I've been straight, man. I've been cooling. Everything good with you though?
Yeah, man, for real. Everything good. Guess keeping a steady pace, you know.
Yeah. Shit, you sound good though, bro. Shit. We out here on the line right now, shit. Hey, you believe in like niggas getting second chances out here? Like with friends and shit that you fall out with your people or whatever, you believe in giving people second chances? You can hear me? And say fuck that shit, he ain't answering
Uh,
that.
nah, you talking about in general?
Yeah, like in general.
Yeah. It just it really just depends. Well, yeah, I say yeah for the most part though. And
Yeah.
then it come down to what was behind it, you know. But it's up to whatever individual to, you know. Everybody ain't gonna do the same thing, you know. They can say, "Oh, I ain't gonna do this, I ain't gonna do that," but you know, to
Yeah. And some people you gotta just hold them down on that shit when they say or what. You gotta stand on business with some people, and some people do. Man, I feel like some people you would know who fucked up and who ain't fucked up. Like who I don't know though, dog. It's hard to explain this shit because it go both ways on so much shit. Like you say, it depends on like what was said, what was did, why it was said, why it was did. You feel me? So it's all kind of
yeah.
shit though.
I mean,
It ain't no
yeah,
right or wrong answer to this shit though. You feel me? It all depends on
it
like what
really
you
ain't
going
though.
through and
It's
feel.
really it's like it's up in the air.
Yeah,
It's like it's up in the air. Really, I mean, I guess it's just how they take it. You know what I'm saying? How they the second chance if they want to give you one. If they want to give, if you solid, you bound to get one. You know. But like
yeah,
if
for
you
real.
ain't really one of them, then you probably won't get one. You know. It just
And I'm gonna tell y'all how much. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, bro. Like this. Hey, look, I ain't trying to take y'all to church either, but God just laid this on my heart to say this shit right now. I swear that shit just came to me, bro. Like, look, everybody, this for the Christian folks who believe in big God out there for real. Now, if you really believe in God out there, God say love your neighbors like you love yourself. And God, and every time, I don't care what you go out there and do, you can go out there and try to do some dirt to somebody. You can go take a nigga life right now. Every time you go to God, he gonna forgive you every single time. This just so that we
yeah. That's
are
the
really
that's
humans
the
out
that's
here
the
though.
easy part though. You gotta you gotta work hard.
But
Yeah,
we
you get
just
that's the
we
easy
humans
part, and
out
that
here.
ain't even the way for real. You know, it's easy to do that. Life bigger than that though. You know.
Yeah. But we ask God to forgive us for everything we do. You know what I'm saying? But just because you forgive somebody, that's why they say forgive but don't forget. You know what I'm saying? You
People
don't
can
forget.
people can change though. That's one thing I say. You know.
Yeah. And you will know it when it's true. You will know when a true change come about somebody. You done been sorry before for something that you done did, and you done came to somebody and really been sorry for that shit and apologize to their ass. You know what I'm saying? How it make you feel when they be like, hell nah, bro, I still ain't forgiving you for that shit. You be like, God damn, that shit make a nigga feel, I don't care how tough you is, that shit make you feel low on the inside, like, damn, bro, you be really feeling bad about some shit you did. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, that shit it go both ways, but you will know when somebody being genuine with your ass, and if you got a discerning spirit though, you will know when somebody being genuine with your ass, and you will know when somebody just trying to come back and finesse
Yeah,
your ass
no, that's
again.
that's the that's the thing about it. A person, a logical or a person with wisdom, they gonna know. They gonna know.
Yeah,
They
for real.
might even let you get over, but they ain't too crazy, you know.
That nigga say, Raw, what you think about the situation with Dirt? Dirt going to goddamn jail, like unless he beat that shit like Thug did, or I don't know. I don't know what to think about that shit with Dirt. Them niggas killed Vaughn. Everybody telling that nigga slide for Vaughn. And he did what he did. His homeboy Worldwide, that nigga going to jail for that part alone. His homeboy War fucking Wire. They got conversations that talking about going to go kill these niggas. The feds got that shit. That nigga going to jail, bro.
Just tell him.
Shit. All right, bro. I'm gonna see you in a minute, man. I'm finna go to the house real quick. You know.
All right, dog. All right, it was good talking to you, bro.
You know it.
All right. Yeah, Mark St. Patrick Vaughn and Dirk ass going to jail.
What you think about situation with Dirk? Okay. All right, baby.
Finna get
I'll
down,
see you
E.
later. Call your mama. I'm back.
Oh, all right.
Huh?
You thought he was solid.
Yeah.
Hey, I like Mark. Martin said he thought he was solid, and look what happened. You can't put nothing past people, man. Who we
Mm-hmm.
thought was solid? Oh, his homeboy. Yeah,
They're gonna show you.
yeah.
I will, son.
He
I
thought
have
he
to
was solid.
phone
You can't put nothing past people, but that nigga going to jail though.
with the past
He thought he
people.
was solid though. That means he wasn't solid from the beginning though. You can think somebody solid. Thinking somebody solid and somebody really being solid is two different things. That nigga thought he was solid. Just like my daughter would call him a thought right now.
You know, when we young, we think we got a whole bunch of friends. We think everybody's solid when we younger. Until we
Yeah.
get into a situation like Lil Durk, like Mark said, he thought he was his friend. Until you get into a situation and really find out your friends are not your friends.
Or my mama.
How do you know the difference? It's a feeling. It's through the test of time, Mark. You know, action speaks louder than words. And if you're a true friend, you really don't even have to talk to people every day. You know, if you can, like, you can have a good friend you ain't talked to in 3 months, 6 months. So, but when they call, it's like no time is missed. You got people you hang around every day, but you got a side item because you question, like, dang, I just peeped this out and I'm peeping it out again. Like, you ain't as solid as I thought. You around for
Right.
certain reasons. So, Mark, you can tell if a person is genuine or not. And
You just
history,
gotta pay attention to
yeah,
everybody
and
around
history
you,
don't
man.
mean that you more loyal to a person that you met last month. Rizzy doesn't know what he say. We don't know if the friends we have are really friends. Yeah. So again, like right now, Mark, I'll be 50 soon. And I've had a lot of friends, but right now it's only one or two that's stuck from childhood, and we as solid as can be. And friends, I went through some health situations and I found out who the real friends and family was, who where the support really was. So you just find out through the test and time who's there for you. And then you have to thank the Lord for who's showing up, not the ones that you thought or expected to show up, the ones who really showing up.
And you know
Two
one
are,
thing? Oh my bad. I thought you was done.
I'm finna say two are is my YouTube brother. I can count on him before I can count on a real family or friend. So it's just a difference on how people treat you, how you want to be treated. You can't treat me how you want to treat me. My friends is going to respect my boundaries. They're not going to question them. They're not going to debate. They're not going to go against them. They're going to say, okay, that's how you want to be treated. That's how I'm going to treat you. Other people, man, I ain't got to do all that. I ain't got to do all that. You changing, man. You doing all, no. You just got to respect me as a person. So you'll get it. You'll get it. I
And
mean, my bad.
another thing that these young cats that's coming up like Dirk and all them niggas in the industry or whatever, them niggas don't know about it. And one thing about the old school, I'ma say us, I'ma say 40 and up. We already know what the streets come with, like, and when you sign up for that shit, you in it for real. And you know that ain't no friends in the streets. The streets don't love nobody. That street hood shit,
Right.
ain't
I
no
was just
love in
gonna
that
say.
shit for real. So everybody cutthroat that's in that shit. Everybody who playing the game, cutthroat. So you don't trust nobody in that shit. So look at the movie Paid in Full. Nigga go over there to get the ransom money for his brother. Oh, you got 10 bricks in there? Nigga shot his ass right in the hallway, took the shit. You supposed to be your day one dog. Hey,
Right.
look at
That's
look
what
at
I'm
Nino
talking about.
Brown. Nino Brown.
Yeah.
I'm telling on all y'all niggas shit. Ain't no love in that shit. In the old
Right.
school, we knew that shit. So
Right.
like Dirt, they thinking, oh bro is love with the bros. Ain't no love in that shit, nigga. Y'all living the street life, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the streets don't love you. And that's when you gotta question. And then too, you gotta stop back and say, let me stop calling people to see who gonna call. You know, let's see who gonna respond. Who let's see who gonna check on you if you don't show up. Let's see who gonna call you if you don't call them. Those
Fact,
are real friends that's gonna call and be like, "Hey, you good? I ain't heard from you." Those are genuine people unless you just being nosy. But you can kind of tell the genuine people. You can tell, you can feel it, you can smell it. You can just tell. And like I'm good with you, and it only take one time for me to show you, for you to show me who you are, and then I'm gonna treat you accordingly. That shit changed, but you right. Still sign up for it. Yeah. In the street game, when you in the streets, you already know the rules. You know how it go, and you don't go against the street code. So nigga, it ain't we got caught, nigga. You already know the game, nigga. You got caught.
yeah, you can tell these little young boys they don't know the game for real.
They
They
don't.
rap about this stuff that they supposed to keep secret. And people be remembering it by heart. It be people's favorite songs. The murder scenes that supposed to be kept under wraps. People know it by heart. Kids can sing it to a T. So
Yeah.
what you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? That ain't real. Like, niggas ain't real in the streets no more, bro. That
No.
shit for the birds, bro. If you know anything about the streets, 2024 ain't the time to be in them shit. Like, for real.
Mm.
Everything getting exposed this year, like Cat Williams say, look at Dirt. He thought he had a murder for hire. He thought he was gonna get away with it. Shit, he thought wrong.
A lot of people just offer self nowadays.
Selfish as
It ain't too many people want to come together and do things together. It's always gonna be one out the crew that just gonna fuck it up. So you got to be very careful on who you even partner up with or even join to do anything with, because there's always somebody in the back side eyeing somebody and just gonna mess it up. So that's why, for one, like on this YouTube stuff, I love the family that we created. Loving Gamma and what Gamma got going on. You know, it's yeah, Mark is always that one. And you can that person you can smell out immediately. You just got to keep watching until you be like, yep, I knew I was right. Yeah.
That's just like the disciples. How y'all think Jesus say one of y'all niggas gonna deceive me? One of y'all gonna go
Right.
against me, nigga?
Right. It's gonna
I'm
be
so
that
Judas
one.
wasn't the only person that knew it was Judas' ass too. Like everybody, they probably seen how Judas moving. They like, man, one of them over there like, yeah, it's gonna be that nigga right there too.
Yep.
Feel me? Like you gotta be able to discern that jump, bro, for real. You go all the way back in time. Like people ain't changed like they ways and stuff like that. We just be coming to a different look at Carla. Carla say exactly. Carla came out the bushes, boy. Carla always there.
Hey sis.
Yeah. For real. Like they knew it was some out of them 12 disciples, probably about 3 of them knew it was Judas gonna do what they did to Jesus, like he said. But he said right here, I just thought that
Movie. I thought the movie You Got Served when the dude sold them out. You Got Served. I don't remember that
I ain't
movie, but
see You Got Served. Mark, you younger
yeah,
than us, man.
I just don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember it.
Mark was in there dancing to B2K and jump.
No, but Mark know what he talking about though.
Yeah,
I
he do know
I
what he
I I
talking
bet you
about.
he got a point.
I just never saw You Got Served.
Yeah, I seen
But
this. Just been a
there's
long
so many
time.
movies out there where somebody always betraying somebody. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, cause it's happening.
Everybody done been betrayed, and like you say, it's because everybody's selfish out here right now.
Yeah, and when we young, we think everybody is our friend. We got a million friends, and then when we become adults, we go down to one or two. That's because we figure out for real who was our friends and who wasn't. It's okay to be cordial, selfish and greedy. Exactly,
Right, that
Mark.
part.
People are selfish and it's all about self. It's all about self. And that's just not how the world go along, because even them selfish people, you're going to need help one day. And your selfish ass gonna come to me and I'm gonna remind you how selfish your ass was. I might help you out, but I'm gonna remind you, hey,
See,
I
hey,
talked about you earlier, she.
you know how they say you don't do business with friends and shit like that.
Right.
You don't do business with the wrong friends. The right friends, you can do. You can be good business partners with the right friends.
Yeah.
The ones who
And
will
that goes for
understand, like,
family
okay, you the
too.
boss, and I work for you. You open up an opportunity for me, and it's an honor to work for my friend. Shit, I work for my friend, my best friend. You know what I'm
She can
saying?
Yeah, she can you come up? I gotta ask you something. I was asking Raw earlier, how can we get in contact with you? I'm glad you came. You popped up.
Let me drop the link again for 'em.
Yeah, cause she be dropping them jewels, and I always remember she.
Bam, gunfire, gunfire.
Yeah, I learned do evil. Yeah, Carla, you can't. Don't do evil for evil. I thought about doing business.
Yep, I'm here. What's
Hey,
going on, people?
she
What's
here,
going on here?
she here, bruh. She here.
Hey, see, that's how you need to come on every panel. I'm here.
Yeah, we here. What's going
We
on?
here.
I love your knowledge and the way your brain works.
Yeah, yeah. Appreciate it.
So
Appreciate it.
I was on. It's a content creator that I support, and she asked us to do some homework. And she asked if we could invite a content creator over. It also will, it'll bring people to your channel, because I know you have so many good points about business, about finances, about life, period, to where other
Mm-hmm.
people can learn and gravitate, from what you pull out. So when she said if we could ask somebody to come on, first person I thought of is we here, because I know he got some knowledge for us. So I just wanted to ask, and for you to think about if you could or would like to join. Her name is Gamma. It's Gamma's World. She's a really positive content creator. She's not into the bull crap she.
You will like her
She
game night too, she.
Yeah, she a really lovely lady. So, and she's into growing her channel and helping others grow their channels. So I wanted to ask you if you could be a guest on her panel to throw some of your jewels out and let them know what your channel is about and all of that good stuff.
That's cool. I can do that. Y'all drop the link and then I can sub to her and go over there too. But yeah, I'm
It's gonna be
always
on
into.
it's gonna be on the Zoom call.
No, it's gonna be on one of her lives. It was like
Oh,
we talked.
okay.
She asked us about it last night. Now, what I need to do, Sheet, is I'm going to contact her and get the exact day and time. And then hopefully you and Two Rock can change numbers so where I can contact you and let you know the details of it.
Yeah, well, I got my number, but too, if you hit me on my email, we here at Gmail, so
Okay.
I'll be
Yeah.
answering that too.
I got your
Okay.
I got a new phone, see. I gave you my number the last time on your live in the back chat.
Yeah,
I got a new phone number.
Like I say, down the way, when they get back over here,
Rock, can y'all exchange numbers in the back end?
Yeah, hold on.
yeah.
Yeah. Cause yeah, you the first person I thought of.
Appreciate it.
um
Appreciate it.
Without any, I know you gonna come standing on business. I know you intelligent and you come with the jewels, and you the first person I thought of. And
Then
so
I
I
might even
appreciate.
bring some people too, if need be. If we need some more people, I can talk to some more people as well.
Well, that'd be good, because she also have men's Monday men's night. Two Rob be up there, and it'll be nice if you come through on them. But then, like you said, I'll drop her. I'll drop her channel, and then you can sub to her. You can check her out, get a feel of, who she is and what she does, and then we can go from there.
All right.
Real quick,
Yeah.
you heard me.
Huh?
I told she to get my number out the back chat. I just put it in the private chat.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, text me so I can get your number in my new phone. In my
All right.
new I got a new number.
Yeah. And I got your email, so I can email you, she.
All right.
But I appreciate you. Just put a smile on my face, honey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
but
I mean, go ahead.
no, we was talking about solid people, and now it's time to get your input. Ask you the question, cause we got Mark. We got Mark. He's in the chat. He's a part of Gamma's World too, and he's a very intelligent young man. He just started his channel as well. Got a great channel. He's an intelligent young man with an old soul. So he's who we've been talking to. Him and Carla is down in the chat, and we've just been conversating back and
We
forth.
were trying to figure out like the solid people, like do solid people bend and break in your life, or do they stay forever? Like stuff like that. Like can a solid person break at some point in life or whatever? Like it cause a problem in a relationship, and should you forgive everybody, or like who deserves forgiveness and who don't? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, solid people, they hardly ever change too much because, that's their intent to make them who they is, in my opinion. So, like, when y'all were talking about business, when me and one of my friends, we got into business, we had a real good night business together. But the bad part about it was when it came down to it, we had issue with okay, all right. Yeah, my bad, I'm working too, but we doing business together, and we really kind of bump heads with stuff because he wanted stuff done his way, and I'm like, what's the logic way for the business? And so a lot of times you get people that get in their emotions, man. And that's the thing that I talk about with a lot of men. If you get too much in your feelings and emotions, man, you'll mess up a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of times they say wars were started over women, but you gotta understand there was a lot of them emotional men that went to war because of their feelings. You know, but
Oh damn, he
a
fell
lot of
down there.
time having like solid. Go ahead. Well, let me get this. Go back in the chat real quick.
Yeah, cause we were talking like what you said about like your friends and stuff like that. A lot of people get selfish and greedy. Like we were talking about that too. Like when it comes to business and stuff like that, you get selfish, jealous. I'm gonna say jealous and greedy. What was the reason the business didn't work? Oh, he talking to you. See, what was the big why? Why didn't the business work?
Well, as far as like I said, ego got in the way because me and my business partner, we started off doing the business good, but just like I said, ego got in the way. He wanted to run the business as it was his company, but we came in the business saying we're gonna do it 50-50. And that was my biggest issue with him. Like, hey, we started this business right 50-50, but then, he put a little more money than me, so he wanted to dominate a lot of stuff. And I'm like, nah, we ain't gonna do that, you know. And that was the whole reason for going in business from the jump. And we was gonna work together.
You push all that. I think we're on grand right over here. It's gonna lift out.
Yeah, we going in the business 50-50, then that's what we doing. We cool. If you want to have the majority, then I step back and I become an employee. But see, that's why I say the ego get involved because you know everybody know money plays a big part in a lot of relationship breakups when it comes to women and men. So if you ain't think you get your fair share, you gonna say something about it.
Right, right, right. See, I went into business for myself, right? I started a little pressure washing, little side job thing I do on the weekends and stuff down in Jacksonville, right? And I had one of my boys. He was like, "Man, I need some money. I want to come to work with you." So I let him come to work with him. I told him for every house that we do, we gonna be getting like I'm gonna pay you $50 a house. Like, you know what I'm saying? Cause I'm just looking out for him. Cause I'm like, bro, like you ain't got nothing coming in now, and I really don't need the help. I can do it by myself, but like I'll bring you out here with me, bro. Like, and I give you every house that we get, I give you $50 off of it, right? So we had got this one house. I did this house. It was the only house for the day, and he saw the man pay me when we was done, right? Like usually I'd like get the payment while we working or whatever, like, but this time the guy was like, I gotta run to the bank and I'm coming back, I'm gonna go get the money. So the dude came up and handed me the money right in front of him. So it was like $400. And he like, I gave him his $50. He was like, man, that's all I get. Like, if we just want to do 1 hour a day, that's all I get. Da, da, da. I'm like, bro, like, this is my truck. This is my equipment. I had to put the gas in. I got, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I started this shit, like, you know what I'm saying? It really caused a problem. What up, Alonzo? It really caused a problem between me and him type shit, like, for real. I'm talking about to the point where he was mad at me, like, really upset. He wanted more. And I'm like, the deal already was $50 a house, bro. You know what I'm saying? But he seen how
Yeah.
much I got paid off that one house, and he immediately like, nah, bro, like, you want more. And I ain't gonna lie, I thought he was a solid brother, for real, too. I thought he was solid until he did that right there.
You know the crazy part about that? My brother and my cousin went through the same scenario. So my cousin, he got about 5 kids, and so he was like, man, I can't really work, be there for my kids all the time. So he started, consignment type clock deal where he sell furniture and stuff. Um, he would go to yard, not yard sales, but like storage units before they had storage wars. All that was advertised real big. He'll go pick up storage units and go resell their stuff. You know, flea market deals and all that, make good money. So him and my brother got into it, started talking about doing it. He told my brother he's gonna get his first pay. My brother was cool with it. So one day he fooled around and seen my cousin go to the bank, put a big old, amount of money in there. Then he come back out. He said, "Boy, we worked hard today." He give my brother like $100. My brother like, "Hold on, bro, we did all that pay today." He's like, "Nah, it was the course of, 2 days. I gave you 100 yesterday, and I'm gonna give you another 100 today." Oh boy, he was living. He was like, "Man, I did all the work. I think I should get more money." But then, like you said, he didn't put in on the truck. He didn't put in on the insurance, none of that. But he expecting to get a bigger payout. And see, a lot of people, they looking at the money, but they not looking at how much, they got to contribute to, getting the stuff done.
Right. Alonzo, what up, bro?
Raw, what up? She, what up? Thank you for the invite, Ms. Carla. You know, I didn't get the whole crux of the conversation, but just from hearing what she said, I literally had a situation like that happen to me a couple years back, maybe about 10 years ago now. I was still selling insurance, and it seems like it's like Mark said, the whole ego wanting to take something that started as either a partnership or what have you. So what happened with me was, I was working for an insurance company, and one of the things I did was, I bought leads. But when you buy leads, you got to call them, set up the appointment, and then you got to go to your appointment. Well, if I'm calling them, I ain't got time to go there. And if I'm going there, I ain't got time to call them. So my brother-in-law was dating this girl at the time. And, I told him, I said, listen, I'll pay you, $40 a week. I'm gonna get you a cell phone. I'm gonna give you this list of people. All you got to do is call them and schedule the appointments. I'll pay you a commission on top of, when you schedule the appointments. But you got to schedule at least 5 appointments because, I'm not gonna close every person I sit down with. No sale. The best salesperson in the world don't close 100% of the time, right? Sometimes they can't afford it. They don't want it. They just say yes for whatever. So the woman worked for 2 weeks and she made one appointment for me, just one. And I went to that appointment. The woman who I sat with already had insurance and couldn't afford anything more and couldn't really change her plan. So I said, okay, stay that way. The girl was like, oh, well, I did the work. I want my $40. Now, mind you, I had to pay for the leads. Like you said, you were saying, the brother didn't put in on the truck, the insurance, nothing. This woman didn't put in on the leads, put in on the computer, put in on the cell phone, nothing. But she's still expecting to get paid and didn't even perform her full job. So much so that she nearly started a beef between me and my brother-in-law. So, he was all ready to fight and stuff. And I was like, look, what kind of problem we going to have? Because, I'm a man, you a man too. You threatening physical violence. Let's go. Right. But then I said, you know what? It ain't worth it. You know what? Here's your $40. You don't work for me anymore. Right. And then I canceled the insurance policy that I bought for her. So she got an additional $18 because I also paid for a life insurance for her. And she got 8 kids, by the way. But now you got $58, but now you don't have a consistent stream of income, and you don't have no benefits. Because I was gonna give her health benefits and all that out of my pocket, right? But like you guys said, the ego. She wanted to be so ego driven, not do the job, and then think she was just gonna get paid $40 a week for setting one appointment. I can't afford to keep the cell phone on for you to call people if you don't set, 5 appointments. And if I'm paying for, $5 a lead at $100, I'm sorry, 100 leads at $5 a lead, that's $500 I spent already on names and phone numbers. But, yeah, Mark, I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna be the bit here. Here's your little $40. You're never gonna work for me again. Don't ask for a referral. Don't ask for any help in the future. I hope that $40 or that $58 was worth it. And then he felt like an asshole because he saw that 2 weeks later after I gave her that $40, she got the check in the mail for $18. He called and he was like, yo, man, I'm sorry. I was like, don't even worry about it, bro. It's water under the bridge. But that type of stuff don't make no sense. I can only talk about it from my end, but I can see how people on the physical work end can get upset. But like she said, bro was getting $100 a day. Yes, it's a lot of work, but you ain't putting on the truck, the insurance, the business plan, setting up the business bank account, taking the liability. Because if something happens, they ain't coming after you. They coming after the guy who owns the business.
Right.
And people don't look at that. They want the money, but they don't want the responsibility. Right? Because there's a whole lot of other stuff that comes with being the boss. Right? You being the boss, if your employee does something crazy, you get in trouble for that. Because they're not gonna sue. They're not gonna sue if me, you, and she start a business, right? And say she the owner of the business, and me, you go off and do some crazy mess. You know who they gonna sue? She. They ain't gonna sue Alonzo. They ain't gonna sue Too Raw. They gonna sue Sheed. Who the owner of the business? Sheed. Oh, we suing him. He wasn't even there. But now he got to sit here and go to court because of some bonehead decision that me and Raw made.
And that's crazy, like you say that, right? So now, when a company, with big companies out there, their biggest liabilities and shit be employees. You know what I'm saying? Your employee, you gotta hire the right people. That's why they give interviews and stuff like that too. So if we start a business right now, our biggest liability gonna be these people that we get to work for. They can cause all. They can be the wrong. Go out there and do like you say some crazy foolish shit, and we get sued and not them. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And,
Big fact.
and this was the crazy part about it. So my cousin took the approach by saying, since you want to be a wild member in this company, I'm gonna go ahead and put forth the effort, change the name of my business, change it to M&M Furniture. My brother name is Mark, my cousin name is Myron. M&M Furniture. Cool. He was like, it don't matter whose name is gonna be first. Your name could be first. My name could be first. It don't matter because we still gonna get paid the same. Got all the way down to that part, changed the name, had LLC, all that stuff changed, everything. Paid for the taxes for the business. He said, well, you can start paying your portion after, we initially start making our first money. Don't you know, right after he get his first major check, they did a weekend and they made $2,500. They split that 2,500 down the middle. Brother was cool with it. But when he came back that Monday, my brother was broke. And he was like, hold on, I gave you over $1,200. So what did you do with the money? He's like, oh, I did this and did that. He's like, what about the next auction you need to buy more units? What about the gas and everything for the truck? I'm thinking about getting a pickup truck so you can drive the other truck since I'm driving the big truck. Oh man, we'll do that on the next run. The next run became the next run became the next run, and he got reduced back to being an employee again.
Crazy.
Yeah, man, you gotta watch these people that you bring in, boy. That what he said. That's why you don't work with. That's why you don't. That's why you say no to family or friends. I'd rather pay someone that's qualified to do the job, qualified to do the job. So it will be a contract. I pay you, do the work, you do the job. Facts. That's
Yeah, I
what my
agree, man.
huh?
I agree. Shoot, my cousin, he had a barber shop. He had 2 locations here in Connecticut. And, one he had them pay the chair rent, and then the other he had paid them commission. But a lot of the barbers, and he was looking to hire me. I was like, no, I need a specific salary that you probably can't afford right now. Right? I was like, the minimum I would let you pay me is $40,000 a year to manage the barbershop. And I don't know if y'all are doing those kind of numbers, and then he ended up in a predicament where he asked me to borrow a certain sum of money, and I had it, and instead of just giving it up, because I was like, yo, I've been trying to do business with you for 2 years since you opened, and every time you fluff me off, now you need X amount of thousands of dollars to meet payroll or whatever, and you expect me to just roll over and give it to you. What am I getting out of it? Right? So I told him I had to borrow it from my boy. So my boy was like, well, listen, I know you've been trying to do business with Alonzo, been trying to do business with you for 2 years. I also been trying to do business with you recently. So here's what you're gonna do. Give me the roster of your employees. We're gonna roll out these employee benefits. You sign the paperwork, the money's yours. He had the nerve to never send the paperwork. Well, guess what? Now both of those locations are closed. I don't know that that was the prime mitigating factor, but that couple $1,000 could have infused and helped them stay afloat for substantially longer. It hurts me to know that that business is closed because that was a family business, and I wanted him to, continue to grow. But I'm like, bro, you know what my wife do for a living. You know what I do for a living. We lean on each other, right? I promoted you. You had flyers. You had this. I made sure I went out of my way. I ain't get nothing for making sure people came to the barbershop, but the fact that you was thriving. But you couldn't even, scratch my back and be like, hey, go see my cousin. He's a financial advisor, right? Yeah, you ain't getting nothing out of it, but I ain't getting nothing out of people come to the barbershop. And then one thing that ended up happening, long story short, he told me I had an obligation to do something. And I was like, bro, you not paying I said, I have an obligation to my wife. I ain't got no obligation to you. Yeah, you're my relative, but that's it. there's no obligation. I'm not getting nothing from this establishment. This establishment don't pay none of my bills, nothing like that. We ain't got no contract, like So St. Louis said. And that's real important. And I think that's one of the things, especially with our folks, is that we have to learn to stand on contracts, whether it's family, friends, or strangers. We have to stand on contracts, right? And there's communication, right? If you want me to sign a contract, okay. But when I reach out and say, hey, when are you next available? Don't ghost me. If you ghost me, I ain't never signing your contract because you can't tell me when you're available. So I'm not gonna sign a contract and then you've already ghosted me before finding out when you're available. Why would I sign a contract then? But if we have parameters up front, hey, this is the contract, this is what's in it, da 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 da, and we go over it up, in the first, second, third meeting, that can save a lot of headache and a lot of fights or hurt feelings.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because once you got a contract, like it's like set in stone, basically. Like then, like this is what it is. Like you feel me? Like and anybody go against that contract, that's when you can take it to court and get legal action and take legal actions and stuff like that. So a contract protect both parties for real. So if anybody be willing to not to whoever the person that's saying like I don't want it, I want to do it with no contract. I ain't rocking with you, bro. Cause like you know what I'm saying? You trying to take the shield down from me and you. But if you don't want no shield to protect you, I feel like you coming in here trying to do some dirt off the real, and you don't want to be punished by the shit. Like I just can't trust nobody who can't do no contract. You feel me?
Facts. But now the next thing is, especially in my field, uh, you got to know what contracts you're getting into. And again, with our folks, we don't always get the right contracts, right? So first things first, let's say, again, me, you, and Sheed, let's say me, you, Sheed, and So St. Louis uh, got together and started a business. One of those contracts that we need is something called a buy-sell agreement, right? And yeah, obviously, I'm gonna shamelessly plug and say, yeah, it's got to be uh, 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 funded through life insurance, but you don't have to fund a buy-sell agreement through life insurance. You could fund it through, stocks, real estate, other things, actual cash, what have you. But the buy-sell agreement is a way that, the four of us started this business. We started off, we said, we started at zero, but we said in 10 years, it's going to be worth $1 million. Let's say in 4 years. So 40, it took a fourth of the time for it to be worth $1 million. And then me and So St. Louis say, you know what? This company made $1 million. When the company made $1 million, we was going to split anyway. I don't feel like sitting here for the next 6 years doing this. You know what? Buy me out of my position. And then things like the buy-sell agreement will allow you to exit, because one of the things we don't look at is the exit strategy of business, right? Prime example, again, I'll use my cousin. He was looking for his son to enter the business, but he didn't have a buy-sell agreement. What if your son don't want to get into that business? That happens, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Your son might want to be an astrophysicist. So you get the buy-sell agreement, and now it's like, okay, well, here's my exit strategy. She and Two Raw, me and So St. Louis gonna get $250,000 each, and we got the money already because we put $1 million away when we started, when we didn't have nothing. But each of us, put a second mortgage on our house or whatever. However we find, or I would say the life insurance is the cheapest, easiest way to do it. But we sold some stock or whatever, cashed in an old 401k, and now we've got, instead of taking money from the business so you and she can continue to thrive, while me and So St. Louis go and drink Mai Tais on the beach or whatever it is that we do with our portion, it doesn't disrupt the business, right? And then you go and you say, you know what, I'm 60 70 years old, I've been doing this for the last 40 50 years, I'm tired, I want to retire. But you can't retire because you don't have an exit strategy. So Contracts aren't only just to protect you from, bad deals with other people. Contracts are also there for, to protect yourself from your exit strategy. The other thing will be something called an ESOP, ESOP, Employee Stock Ownership Program. So generally, when companies are looking to sell their business, they start an ESOP. An ESOP, you could start that 20 years. You might not be wanting to sell your business for 20 years, but you start the ESOP now. And, things like giving employee benefits. That's what I used to do when I first got into business. I used to go to business and say, yo, I'm going to teach you how to attract and retain quality employees. Because one of the things, even though we're looking at it from the business owner standpoint of these contracts, if you get a good contract for an employee, they don't care about the salary. If I got it set up where you got, a 401k, you got good health insurance, you got a HSA, I reimburse you for college credits or training, you're more likely to take, he's only paying $80 a day, but I get all this other stuff where this other guy is paying $100 a day, but I ain't got no health insurance, I ain't got no 401k, I ain't got no this, I ain't got no that. That's a bad contract for the employee, which is another thing that jobs need to look at, or business owners need to look at when they're looking to hire people.
I want to say this too.
You right about that too, bro.
Go ahead, Tua.
That's like in the trucking industry when you go out here leasing trucks and stuff like that. A lot of these trucks, they make you sign the contract, and some of them have like a balloon payout at the end, or some of them have the contracts that we look for the most, the ones that say walk away lease. I mean, you can walk away at any time, so that's your exit strategy that Alonzo was just talking about. So it play a role in like almost everything. But yeah, go ahead, I just want to say that.
And that's solid too, that Alonzo bringing up these contracts, man. So one of my friends, the guy that me and him did business with, we actually did a contract. We broke it down. If the company was to disperse according to how much money we had in the account, according to the equipment, because not only, coming into the business, it's a new business. So where's your credit? You don't have no credit. So both of us had to actually take out vehicles in our name and purchase vehicles. So how does the vehicles get dispersed? Do I get a vehicle? Do you get one? Do you buy me out of my vehicle and pay it off so my credit won't look bad? Like how we talked about all that. Now hits one of my other friends. He wanted to get in business with a guy, and I told him, I said, well, do you guys have a contract? Oh man, we homeboys, man. I know his cousin and this and that. I said, that's understandable, but you don't know him fully. And even if I told him, you've been my friend for over 20 years, and I won't even do a business with you without a contract. So he kind of took offense to it, but pursued it anyway. Don't you know he gave this guy $10,000 to help him, fund his trucking business. Ended up giving him another $5,000 because he needed more money for the insurance, get everything started. And I think at that another $5,000, so he's all in probably $20,000. Don't you know he got took for all that money? The guy went in the bank account because he gave the guy the money to set up the account, and once he set up the account, he started funneling money into the bank. Now, these look like payouts. You're a person that's gave $10,000 pushed into this guy's account and 2 sets of $5,000. So they don't know if the $10,000 was for a job that he did. They don't know if the $5,000 that he paid out was a job or what. That guy can say anything. There was no paperwork drawing up or nothing.
Hey, see, hold on, see. Hold on. I gotta give these women the respect, cause these train riders falling through this mud like they all coming in here. Shonda V, Christine Brooks, C Brooks, Eric Casey, everybody coming up here 74. God dang, them train riders pulling up. When they come in the building, you gotta give them respect and say what's up, man. They falling up in here, man. Rita must have sent them this way. God damn, they take your shoes off at the door, man. Like hit the light button. These are my brothers on the screen right here. Hey, E, can you drop their links and drop everybody link, E, and then y'all, hey bro, y'all go sub to them too, man. They coming through showing love right now. The train riders coming in, man. And hold on, Sheet. I gotta do this for them every time they come through like this and show me love. We're gonna pause it for 1 second. I gotta do this real quick. Hold on now. Hold on, I gotta do this for them.
Yeah.
I gotta do this for them, man. Hold on real quick. This for all y'all train riders coming through showing me love. Let's go. Hold on, y'all. I had to show love to them sisters, man. They come through stepping like the big gorillas do on a choo-choo train, boy. And like you said, it may bend, but it definitely don't break. So what's up, man? Hey, y'all ladies out here, these my two brothers right here, man. Alonzo and she. Like, these my brothers of the internet, for real. And we be having real talk on here, man. So y'all enjoy the show, man. Sit back and listen to my brother C. His link in the chat, man. He have a dope show over there, man, talking about business. And see, you can tell them about what you do, man. Like, introduce yourself. These the ladies of the train right here, and they'll definitely come show you some love.
Yeah, when it come down to it, I just talk about finance, life, mental state of mind. That'd be my thing. You can go ahead, Alonzo.
I was gonna say they got him. Yeah, too raw. Also, seeing as you're in the trucking industry is another thing. So, I'm a financial advisor, right? Insurance based, right? So, a lot of my focus is life insurance. But a lot of our agents, we do a terrible job in terms of the marketing. It sounds like we're daggone, mobsters. What if something happens to you? It'd be terrible. But the problem is, we talk about something happening to people and them dying too often. We don't talk about what really happens, which is something happening to people and them living. So my man Prince Pierre actually went and got his license and joined my team because he's a trucker too. And he was like, yo, I speak the language of truckers. And I was like, all right, well, one thing that you need to get heavy on is that disability insurance, right? I call that paycheck insurance, right? And that's another contract that y'all definitely want to look at, because like the reason he got with me, because he ended up having to stop driving for a while because he got run over by a truck. And he was like, yo, the shit happens all the time. It's dangerous as a trucker. A tire pop, you on the side of the road, something crazy happened, this, that, and the third. But again, all of these things, man. And it's funny because my niece dated a trucker out here, and she was like, yo, truckers, apparently y'all believe in insurance, because the guy she was dating, she was like, oh, so what you got in your bank account? And he laughed. My niece is about 24 years old. The guy she was dating was about 45. He laughed at it. He said, I don't got no bank account. I keep my money in life insurance. Now, what's funny is now I've been talking about this shit since 2010. Now you got dudes like Bandman Kevo coming out talking about all the strategies that I've been talking about. So listen, man, I'm gonna tell you all my story. 2008, 3 days before Mother's Day, I got shot 5 times in front of my mother in the Trefo. That's Winston-Salem, North Carolina. You know, that's part of the reason that I sell life insurance. I'm not like most of these other product pushers that's going to tell you some fluffed up bullshit. I curse, I smoke, I spit, I listen to gangster rap, right? I'm cutting down on the smoking sheet, so don't get on me too bad. Um, but you know, these are things that a lot of these, quote unquote financial gurus, they tell you half the story, right? Like, they don't really give you the truth, right? I'm gonna give you the truth on a lot of this stuff because a lot of this stuff most people can't afford. People tell you to invest, but they never tell you about this thing called a prospectus, which legally, before you give me $1 to invest, I'm supposed to give you a prospectus. If you go to Ariel Investments, and the reason I'm saying Ariel Investments, because Ariel Investments is a black-owned investment firm, and if we as black people are going to be talking about investing, let's put our money where our mouth is and put it in the black firms. Ariel Investments been partnering with Charles Schwab for 25 years. You'll never hear Charles Schwab say shit about Ariel Investments, but you'll hear Ariel Investments talk about Charles Schwab. And trust but verify. So don't take my word for it. If you're anybody near the computer right now, go to Google and type in Ariel Investments, ARIEL Investments. And then you could put / Charles Schwab. And they have a whole fund together. But you'll never hear Charles Schwab and the CEO of Ariel Investments is a black woman. Just so y'all know. The other black-owned firm is Harlem Capital. So on my channel, I talk about a lot of that. Like I said, I curse, I smoke, I spit, I listen to gangster rap. You know what I'm saying? Because of the lifestyle I came through. I went from the streets to Wall Street. I was on Wall Street during the Occupy Wall Street movement. I got chased by motherfuckers during that shit. It was crazy. All the cocaine and shit that you see on Wolf of Wall Street is real. All the midget throwing parties is real. But I'll pause there and let she go.
Yeah, man. Because, I mean, the crazy part, me and Alonzo met online and we became real close friends about this. Like I tell people, you know, I talk about life insurance even though Alonzo keep trying to get me into the business. I might step out there one day, but it just, everybody have a lane. So I kind of, stay in my lane. I can promote. I can direct people to Alonzo. Like I told him, I got 3 policies. Alonzo has policies on my kid. When it comes down to it, hey, who better to trust? My thing is, if anything ever happens to me, my family's gonna be straight. I always say, when we have these conversations, and the women are always saying the men are the providers and the protectors. Well, what's gonna happen when I die? If I'm the majority of paying the bills of my house, does life, end? That's why I'm like, man, I need life insurance. My dad, I've always tried to be better than my dad. My dad had my mom set up well when he passed. And he passed when I was young. So everything that I got influenced in becoming a man and, educate myself, educate my kids, is from the knowledge and the passed down, things that my father did. So that put me in the mind state to do better. That's why I promote life insurance. That's why I promote family. I've been married for 17 years, So when it comes down to it, hey, the proof is in the pudding, man. Lonzo talks about, different insurance. Hey, a lot of people say, oh, man, this stuff is boring, this, that. Hey, boring gets paid. Sign me up for the boring stuff. I ain't saying that I, sit down and crunch numbers all day. I'm with Lonzo. I like rap music. I listen to my Moneybag Yo and my Finesse 2 Time, but I also listen to podcasts that talk about money and everything as well. And like you were talking about Bandman Kevo, it's funny you say that because Kelly Rowland talks about how she used life insurance. One of the biggest moguls that a lot of people know from back in our era is Master P. He took $10,000 from his granddad life insurance policy and turned it into what, $250 million?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I
Yeah.
heard you say, I heard you say, she, that you try to be like your daddy, right? Like you try to be like your daddy or better than your daddy, right? Like, is it safe to say, like, well, how do y'all brothers feel, and how y'all feel in the chat, right? How y'all feel about, do you think it was easier for our grandparents that we be trying to live up to? Like, was it easier for them back in the day than it is for us, like, today? Or do you think we got it easier today trying to do, like duplicate what they did? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I
You
think
got to answer that question. Go ahead, Alonzo.
Like, I'm talking about like how cheaper stuff was back in the day, and now with the inflation that we dealing with and stuff like that. Do you think it's easier for us, or was it easier for them back in the day to do the stuff that they did, all the great stuff they did?
so. I think that's twofold, right? Like one of the things that I have been saying on the dating end for men. I'm married, been with my wife 15 years, but on the dating side for men, I say, listen, one of your first few dates need to be to come see a financial advisor. We're going to go over your budget, this, that, and the third. I show in the budget, listen, you shouldn't be taken aback when a woman wants you to take her to, when you're expected to spend a certain amount of money on a date, because it should be in your budget. Now, if she says, listen, I want to go to, Michael Jordan's Steakhouse, and you got enough money for Ruby Tuesdays in your budget, you tell her, look, woman, my budget is Ruby Tuesdays. That's where we going, right? And the problem is, because of stuff like social media, we've got too much access to seeing what the quote unquote good life is, right? A woman, yeah, outside influence, right? A woman, the only reason she expects you to, spend some money on that date, realistically, and this is what our community missed out on, is she's trying to gauge whether you're a good steward of your money or not, right? So you're supposed to be able to put your foot down and say, no, we're not going to Ruth Chris, we're going to Ruby Tuesdays, because that's what's in my budget. Because she's supposed to appreciate that as a man, you're going, listen, I'm not spending Ruth Chris money on some random person unless I've got invested in you. Once you are my lady, yes, I'll take you to Ruth Chris. But we just trying to get to know each other. You going to Ruby Tuesdays or Applebee's. Now, what that says to the woman is, oh, when we're involved and we're creating this family and we're married, he ain't gonna go squander his the rent money on Newports and Old English, right? Or what have you. So I don't think it's easier. I think it's different. I don't think it's easier or harder.
Yeah, and I would say you have to measure it by two ways. For one, the relationship wise is totally different. The men courted the women by taking them out. It wasn't always this whole $500 spent on a date. A lot of times back in the day, coffee dates was a thing. Like going to a diner, just sit down, or just having a walk. You know, because this is one of the things that's long lost and forgotten. And I know I'm gonna get kicked down for saying this, but if a lot of women would bring their men around their family and their fathers, especially if the father's around, not even just the father, just uncles and cousins, that were men, they would kind of bet this guy and be like, man, you ain't got nowhere in the world should be with this guy. One of the videos I looked at with Woody, and I know it was a video of the skit, but when his sister brought some guy who was acting like a fake thug around Woody, this guy on Rico trial killed people for a living, and he was like, man, I know you lying to me. You gonna bring this dude, this type of dude? You college bound, you about to graduate, you got your whole life ahead of you. That passed down judgment to where women wouldn't even bring those type of men home because they know their dad want to approve of them. And now it's got to the point where the best way to, get into a grown up relationship is have a kid and you're not bringing that person around your family. That's one big thing. And two, as far as financial wise, I mean, the scale has changed. I can quit driving trucks right now, go find me a group of guys or do it by myself and start a podcast. I could be a multi-millionaire by just talking. So the scale has changed. Back then, a lot of guys work hard. They had to fight for industries that us guys now are in. Trucking wasn't big in the black community. Trucking wasn't big overall. It was only certain people got into that. I mean, I've talked to older gentlemen that can't even read that were Caucasian, and they got in the industry. So I'm like, how you even pass the driving test and you can't even read? A lot of those guys said, man, only thing that they learned was how to drive that truck at a young age, working on farms. They went and took the test and passed it by doing that.
My
Then the
granddaddy
test
got
came
in
about.
like that. My granddaddy got in like that. He was a truck driver. It's called being grandfathered in.
Yeah,
A lot of these
yeah,
truck drivers, and nowadays, like when it comes time for them to renew their license and stuff like that, and some companies make them guys that was grandfathered in, they make them go back in the end and go. They got to go to school and take the test. So when I went to school 10 years ago, it was guys that was grandfathered in that companies made them like, hey, you got to go back and get a course done or something, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was guys that knew how to drive these trucks. I'm talking about better than the instructors that was teaching us. You feel me? But they just had to come back into that course again because they got grandfathered in.
That's something that our community don't do a lot, right? And that's an issue. And like even I'm guilty of it, right? We don't do the nepotism, right? I know we were saying, keep family out of business, so on and so forth, but I think we should involve, family in business in an aspect. So, right, we all know who Kohler is with the big plumbing company where they do the faucets and the kitchen sinks and the toilets and all that, right? Well, we know who Kenny the Jet is, right, from NBA fame. He recently did an article, an interview where he was saying, listen, he was in college. He didn't know that his roommate was one of the billionaire kids from Kohler. And then when he found out he was like, why in the hell are you here in college? Why didn't your dad just make you the CEO or something? He said, because my dad said I had to start at the bottom and be a plumber first. He said, so that when I am a CEO and I get an invoice for, three screws and they charging me, $17 about for a screw, they want to, and it's really only $3. So I know, so I don't get screwed over. So I think that's one of the things too. We, especially, our generation, we kind of want to supercharge our kids because we didn't get that from our parents. And we'll end up putting our kids into bad positions instead of making them start from the ground up. And I think if you make them start from the ground up and we start practicing nepotism, like I said, Sheed has a son who wants to get into investing, right? Maybe he doesn't want to get into the business that she does. So, you know what? Me and Sheed are connected. She calls me up, yo, Lonzo, look, I know you starting your own firm. Can my son come work for you? I don't want him to start at the top. I want him to start at the bottom. If all he got to do is go get coffee for you, if he was to go to one of these big firms that don't care about him, he would do the same thing. So I want him to come and he can learn every aspect of the business. But this way we know it's a guaranteed hire, and you'll handle them a little more carefully. You ain't just gonna throw them out the door if you get your coffee wrong.
Right.
yeah.
That's
I mean, go ahead.
that's kind of like I'm gonna say like it's a big difference in LeBron James kids, Deion Sanders kids, and people like Puff. They look at Puff Daddy kids and the way that they going. Like look at Diddy kids. Like they out here wilding because they just everything was just given to them. You know what I'm saying? LeBron James,
Yeah.
I'm talking about that's King James of the basketball world. Like scored more points than anybody who ever touched the basketball. You feel me? So his sons and stuff like that, them boys are some humble young men, and you can tell that they they had to get it out the mud. Nothing was just given to them. Look at Deion Sanders boys. They out there doing their thing, like they working hard. They earning their spots on these teams. They not just getting handed it. But I ain't gonna lie, Bronny got handed his little spot because his daddy is who his daddy is. But he still had to get out there and work hard for that. Like, you feel me?
I mean, I hear what you're saying about Bronny, but if we look at the stats, what's the guy who got drafted first? Was it Richachet or something? The French dude. His number's the same as Bronny's. So, and Bronny had to definitely work. And let's not forget he had that health situation. He was looked at. And if you look at Bryce right now, Bryce is on everybody's radar. That's just like Kmart's son. These guys, yeah, they got the cachet off of their dad, but if somebody was going to get the cachet off of their dad, it should have been Jordan's kids. And I mean, even though I feel, LeBron is the GOAT, but still, they had to work for it. Even now, LeBron don't let his kids just, come in. He ain't putting Bronny in the rotation like that. You coming off the bench, kid.
Right. And look. I got my cousin right here. Try me not. Right? She got all her sons. They balling out. They some superstars out there. They doing their thing. They gonna be some big names one day in the NFL, right? One of her sons. I wanted to say I got the two.
Just make sure they come to the Patriots.
I got the insurance gurus up here. I wanted to like give her some information that maybe she could pass down to her sons if they don't know already about this insurance stuff. So since y'all know about the insurance and like I know how I work in the sports world too, so because I saw Willis McGahee get his knee blew out, like these players be having insurance on their body parts, right? Let me know if I'm right or wrong. Like you can put insurance on that knee, on that foot in case this go out, like and get these contracts with this stuff too, right?
You talking about just the athletes? You talking about celebrities? Mariah Carey has her legs insured, to where if she breaks her legs with those heels, she already got her legs insured. David Beckham had over $20 million. I was telling Alonzo when I had my business, I was dealing with a company called Lords of London.
Yeah, that's who does it.
Yeah. So you can talk to that Alonzo more than me.
So Lloyd's of London would do the physical parts of insurance. Now here's what's funny. Back in 2015, I used to go to the Barclays Center to go to the NBA draft to pick up clients. And every year I'm gonna sound like one of these ladies that the guys don't like. I never got a baller, but I did get some young men who they ended up with regular jobs because there's only 300 positions in the NBA or whatever, so it ain't everybody don't get in, even if they good. But one of the things I would tell her to tell her sons is when they go to the draft, meet with the financial advisor, sit with the financial advisor. Do not immediately reject him, number one. Number two, immediately, whatever your contract is, half of that is going to taxes and 20% of that is going to your agent, right? So if they give you $100 million contract, $50 million is going to the IRS right off the rip, right? Whether you like it or not. Then, right, after that, you got, of that 50 million, 10 million of that is going to go to your agent, right? So now you left with $40 million, right? So that's still a lot of money. But people don't understand the average athlete's career is 4 years. Yeah, you got LeBron James and Tom Brady and people who played for 20 years, but there's a whole bunch more people who we forget about after the 4 or 5 years. So y'all boys need to, firstly, is something in the $1 Million Round Table. $1 Million Round Table is the top 1% of financial advisors across 80 countries. We don't just sell life insurance. We do retirement, investments, all that. But the first thing you need to do is set up a life insurance, something called PPLI, private placement life insurance. This is where the wealth is used to avoid taxes. It's a tax shelter. You're talking $3, 5, $10,000 a month in a policy. Number two, don't pay for life insurance for your whole life, even if it is a whole life insurance policy, right? You don't have to pay for life insurance for your whole life. You could pay for it in one fell swoop. You could say, hey, listen, Zoe, you my financial advisor. I want to put $1 million on this life insurance policy and get a $50 million policy like Jamar Chase got. And I'm going to just pay $1 million one time. You don't pay. The younger and healthier you are, the cheaper you can get your life insurance for. So you want to lock that in as a tax shelter. Then you want to actually set up a personal retirement account, right? Again, a lot of people are going to have you put it in like a Roth IRA. You guys make too much to do a Roth IRA, so they'll tell you to do a traditional IRA and then a backdoor IRA, which is great for me, the advisor, because I get a bunch of checks off of you, and it's great for the IRS. It's not so great for you, the consumer. You want to do something called the rich man's Roth. Follow my channel, book a consult. We can actually have a conversation about that. The game to be sold, not told, but I'm definitely going to tell y'all some of it, right? The shit that I'm saying, 99.999% of the other advisors out there are going to tell you against it. Next thing is, I was talking about something called a collateral assignment. Don't go interrupting your investments. Do invest because now you have the money to, but I'm not going to tell you what to invest in because you need to check something called your risk tolerance. Risk tolerance means if you were to invest with me, minimum investment is usually $25,000. You come to me with 25 racks. If you got a $40 million contract, 25 racks, and you lose it, ain't gonna hurt you. But if you're an average American, $25,000, and then that goes to zero, well, that might hurt because it might have took you some years to save that up. That a game check or a practice check, right? So do invest, but make sure you check your risk tolerance, your time horizon, and your exit strategy. Again, this is shit you ain't gonna hear all these other fake ass gurus talking about. Excuse my language too raw, but I curse, smoke, rap, and spit and listen to gangster rap.
Hey
But
man, it's Too Raw TV Uncut, man. I be cussing over here. You
We're all over here.
do
That's
whatever
cut.
you want.
oh shit, all right. Well, so
Do
yeah.
what you doing there. Talk your shit, nigga.
A lot of these motherfuckers gonna tell you some bullshit about the whole investing, this, that, and the third. Sheed, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I want to say real quick, going into like the investing for athletes, that's the biggest thing. They give them one day to be influenced by people that's telling them how to spend their money. Alonzo, you spoke on this one time before. Most of the rappers, most of the athletes, they want to open up strip clubs, hot wing stands, all this little stuff that they think is entertaining, is high value spending in these areas. But I mean, they're investing. You got rappers like Cameron buying corner stores. You got rappers like Slim Thug, Chameleonaire. Chameleonaire is a big tech mogul, man. Like when it come down to it, Chameleonaire has so much money in tech. Then you turn around, you have Slim Thug. He bought majority of his neighborhood, like the area he was from. Man, he bought so many houses to the point where he have communities now. He's building communities.
Easy did the same thing in Atlanta too.
We're not gonna talk about Jesus. Hey, Mr. Jenkins ain't bought that many properties. I'm just gonna say that he might buy one a year, like you say, but like I say, these guys are, changing the game about the old rap style where you came in with the lyrics. That's like one of the biggest things I want to talk about is not dying broke. You had Charleston White spoke on this. All our positive influences in life, from Malcolm, with Dr. Henry Clark. Dr. Henry Clark would go do free sermons to people, and he would do these events, and he died broke. The guy had holes in his shoes. He wore like 3 or 4 different suits all the time because he didn't have no money, but he was wanting to preach to tell people about their money and how to help them. Dr. Henry Clark, nobody listens to this guy. And I'm just going to say this, I'm going to be kind of blunt about it. I mean, as black men and black women raised over $1 million for Kamala, black women raised $1 million. Black men raised $1 million. That's $2 million they raised for Kamala. Why we can't take that same $2 million and start an infrastructure that help business get home, startup costs? But we're going to give it to a candidate that we don't even know is going to have our best interests. And taking it off from the voting scene, I mean, just in general, what are we doing for our community? We got, a point to where mothers are not having a lot of stuff to provide for their kids, single mothers, I mean, just women in general, not being able to go to the doctor, take care of themselves. There's things that men have no earthly idea what's going on in a woman's body but to have sex. I mean, there's a lot of
True.
complications. Me being married, I learned this over the years with my wife. So, things like that. Women to woman, there's something that women can start an organization to help. These small organizations that they have out there don't get the recognition like the big organizations that Oprah or somebody else started, you know. So we need to be giving charity towards them. My friend always speaks how he gives so much money towards the teenage um, what do they call those for the
The average
kids?
youth.
Yeah, like the average youth and stuff like that. Those non-for-profit organizations. He give a lot of money to them, but that's the main thing. If it wasn't for him giving money to them, when Trump got elected, he said he's gonna pull all his money back. But he's like, I only donate to kids, so I'm only taking from the kids that's gonna be the future. You know,
Facts. Also for your nephews, for your cousin's sons. So also tell them to be careful, and this is for everybody, right? I think you know what? I'm gonna drop the link in the chat for that. But life insurance started as slave insurance in America. Prudential was the first company that actually changed the rates and made life insurance more expensive for black people. They just changed that law October 2023. New York Life owned slaves, right? So what I want you not to do is don't depend on your job for your life insurance. If you got life insurance through your job, don't think that it's for you, right? They got something called COLI, corporate owned life insurance. They call it janitor's policies. Walmart got sued for this, right? Walmart, Procter and Gamble, Nestle, Hershey, Bank of America, Citibank, just to name a few companies where you sign the paperwork. Oh yeah, I got life insurance from my job. How many people do I hear say that all the time? Well, let me tell you, there's a motherfucker who died from Amity Bank from cancer. His Amity Bank got $5 million off of him dying. You know what his family got? Jack shit. Why? Because he signed the paperwork thinking, oh yeah, this is cool. I got insurance from my job. Fuck you, Alonzo. I don't need to sit down and talk about life insurance. I got it from my job. When he died, his family didn't get a red cent because COLI is corporate owned life insurance, which is made to replace you. So what happens is number one, it's a tax write off to the company because they pay the premiums, right? You think, oh yeah,
can I jump in here real quick, Lonzo?
go ahead.
Let me jump in real quick. And the funny thing about that you say that, I had a coworker that had that situation, and with Walmart, they big on this. And I read an article about it and seen the video. Walmart had several employees that they had COLI life insurance on, and they would give them policies, but the policies will only be worth $5,000, $10,000. So when you pass, they get that death certificate. They'll pay your family out 5,000. They'll take $1 million, 250, whatever they put on you. The worst conditions that you have for your health, for your records, because you got to understand, you're hired at this place. They're asking you about your health risks. They know you go to the doctor because you have a condition. You're telling them. This is more information to say, well, we need to put more money on this person because they might die. A lot of the elderly are greeters at Walmart for a reason.
And
But
then,
go
like
ahead.
most of the part, that little $10,000 they give you, that's just enough to bury your ass, have your funeral and shit, and then the rest of the money just go like to what y'all say, like it just go other places, like your family
It
don't
goes
see
to
that.
the company because you never know how much money this company actually has because they would fundamentally tell you, okay, yes, family member filled out for this policy for $10,000. We're not going to tell you that we had $1 million because that's none of your business. Your family member only set up for the 10,000, so that's all we're going to tell you. That's all we're going to talk about.
Man, you about to make me get on my computer and share my screen.
Do it then. We ain't gonna stop you.
Oh shit, he said do it then. All right, give me 2 minutes. Let me go grab some something to drink. I'm gonna hop on my. I'm not hopping off yet till I hop on the computer, but I want to share with y'all that article because this is for my people, right? And nobody's gonna teach y'all this shit. Bandman Kevo ain't gonna teach y'all this shit. No shade to him, but he's gonna grift, right? They're gonna do what they're gonna do. It's just like right now, like my favorite product is the IUL, right? And right now, I've been talking about the IUL since 2012, right? And the infinite banking and all that. Nobody was listening to me back then. Now that everybody's on TikTok, it's the hottest thing in the world. The problem is that shit ain't cheap. And most people can't afford to properly fund the IUL the way it needs to be done. Just like Waka Flocka. Waka Flocka got scammed out of like $5 million setting up an IUL. And again, I sell the IUL. That's probably my favorite product to sell. But you got to sell it to the people the right way. And it don't generally happen that way.
Right. Hey y'all, these both of these brothers links is in the chat too, man. Like they drop jewels. Like this my go-to guys when I want to know anything or get some information about anything, selling a house, all this stuff. Like I'm in the process right now of selling my mama house right now. Like my mama and her husband died, and like man, look here, like I'm in the process of selling my mama house right now. So like I got Sheed number, so I'm gonna be talking to him like off the scene too. So these brothers good. They got all type of information that y'all might need out there in your everyday world. I see they got everybody attention. Everybody, they still stuck in here listening. Like y'all go sub to these brothers, man. Sub to them. Go show them some love and get that information that they giving out here. They dropping it for free, basically. Like, you know what I'm saying? Go. Knowledge is power. Like, it is always good to have some type of power. Like, you feel me? So these brothers got it, and they my go-tos that I go to and seek information from. So y'all do the same, man.
Big facts. I'm about to pull up on my computer now.
I've been rocking with them for like 2 years now. I met Alonzo through Sheed. I met Sheed through the Manosphere. Me and Sheed had friendly fire back and forth, but it was always fun though. Going back and forth with Sheed, like that was my boy. Like we come to an even ground, and we'll drink a beer and walk away as men. You feel me?
Exactly. You know, it was always just, you know, clarity of understanding of the talk, because, you know, that's the thing that, like I said earlier about dating, the sign of the times. Things might be relevant back then that people speak on. They want a traditional woman. Everybody's not going to stay traditional. Relationships, women want traditional man to pay all the bills. Back then, a lot of women didn't work, so that was a traditional thing. Now, 50-50 is a traditional thing, and that's the thing. With most men, if they have the money, I've never yet to meet a man to say, if I made $500,000, $250,000, my wife still got to work. I've yet to not meet a man that say that. Hey, man, if I make this money, why she need to work? I want my wife to be happy. I want to go make the money. I want her there with the kids. I want her there with the house. I want to focus more on other things. I want her to be at peace. Majority of men I talk to, that's all they say they want. You know, and we have these talks. You know, a lot of times we bump head on certain issues because, you know, like I said, at the end of the day, sometimes fairy tales get pushed in the air with dreams through influence, and a lot of times, so we have to come back to reality.
Thanks, bro.
You know, appreciate that. But when it comes down to it, I always, you know, just having a talk. My thing is, I'm not here to slander nobody, really go hard on the men and women, because we both have our faults. There are a lot of men that drop the ball in society. You know, same thing with a lot of women. So I don't think it's like a one gender thing. You know, when it comes down to dating, when it comes down to marriage, it's not just a one gender thing. We all have our faults, but we got to understand when we, you know, kind of fall in the circle.
Big facts.
Everybody
Big facts.
they sub. Appreciate y'all, man.
Appreciate the subs, y'all. You know. Let me see if I want to share a couple of things. So I'm doing what's called continuing education right now, right? So I have, hold on. I have some I'm gonna just, I guess, share my whole screen because it's easier that way.
Yeah, when you share it should pop up in the back. I saw it come up, but then it went. There you go. Hold on.
There you go.
All right, I see it. I got you.
So I got a couple of things because I'm doing continuing education, renewing my license. So here's some stuff again that y'all ain't gonna see from the average American or the average quote unquote financial advisor. All right. So as you can see, this was done. I took this screenshot 11/13/24 at 11 a.m. about almost 2 hours ago. Right. And this is just for renewing my insurance license. You see there it says 10th edition. So basically, every 2 years you got to renew your license. So that tells you how many years I've been in this business. Most motherfuckers ain't been in. Most people fail out of this business after 2 years, right? So they don't even get this far in terms of their renewals of their license. So a lot of the information I'm giving you, you know, your cousin from Primerica didn't get in long enough in the business to teach you, right? But we're talking about doxed online, but there's an actual thing called docs, which is a tax strategy, right? And this is from Kaplan Financial, right? So if you go to kfeducation.com, let's see here, right? Competition in the financial services industry, right? So there was a time when bankers were content to sell bank services, insurance people to sell insurance policies, and brokerage services to sell stocks and bonds. Each one stayed on their own turn, right? Bankers thought we're providing mortgage loans. We shouldn't sell mortgage insurance and homeowners policies at the same time we make them, or why shouldn't we? All right. Insurers thought, why shouldn't we help people accumulate the wealth rather than just help them conserve the wealth they already accumulated? And brokerage firms said, why should people deposit their money in a bank until they want to make their next stock buy? They can leave that deposit with us, right? So there's competition in the industry. To be honest, now, all of these shits are pretty much the same. Everybody's going to offer you the same services, right? Now, you're probably going to get your best bet through a brokerage firm and an insurance company. A bank, not so much. But fuck the insurance company. It's about the representative, all right? Brokerage firms, the motherfuckers work for the brokerage firm. Morgan Stanley, Merrill Lynch, so on and so forth, right? But remember, I told y'all I wanted y'all to look at something called a prospectus. So let's pull up Ariel Investments, right? Black-owned firm, right? Because we're going to get there. We're going to talk about our people today, right? So Ariel Investments, right? So about us, you know, let's look about them, right? This is the founder, this black man. He founded it in 1981 in Chicago, right? But they generally use independent agents. The reason you want to work with independent agents like myself is because I don't work for any fucking company. I work for you, the client. You might hear a lot of people call themselves a broker. Usually they work for something called an IMO. I'm actually independent. Now, I do have a company, a managing general agency that takes, again, that liability that I was talking about. So I don't have as much liability. But this is Ariel Investments, all right? This woman right here, she's the CEO of Ariel Investments. So if we go to About Us and we go to our team, Melody Hobson. John Rogers is the founder and CEO, right? And the CIO. But then Melody Hobson is the co-CEO, president, and chairman of the board for the Ariel Investment Trust, right? So if we look at personal investors, right? Let's just look at the Ariel Fund, right? You can open an account now. You got to know the investor class you are. So most people are going to be investor class, but we don't even know what an investor is, right? An accredited investor versus a retail investor. I also used to hold my real estate license, bro, so I can help you with that. But definitely get in contact with She because regionally he's probably better off because I did real estate in New York City, right? So when you're looking at institutional investors, most people are retail investors. Y'all won't even really be able to invest in this shit. Why? Because you don't meet the accredited investor test. The accredited investor, they remove protections from you. Now, the reason why most people can get into this is because your minimum initial investment is $1,000. That you can't do that one and done, right? The assets in this fund as of September are $2.8 billion. Their ticker symbol is ARGFX. You'll hear a lot of people who are talking about, day trading, which is bullshit. No knock to anybody's hustle. But again, if we was talking drug dealers and you say, listen, I'm the plug, nigga, you moving dimes and nickels, not even eights. You're not the plug. Well, that's what they got you doing. A lot of IX are institutional. When they say, get in the SPIX, right? So you can day trade without a cash account. I'm sorry, with a cash account. You don't need a margin account. That is true. You don't need a license to day trade. That is true. But when you look at shit like the expense ratio, what is the expense ratio? That's the fee that you're going to pay for them to manage this fund, this Ariel Investment Fund, right? Now, remember, I said Ariel Investments, Charles Schwab. SAEF, Schwab Ariel ESG EFT. Ariel Fund Investor Class, ARGFX, which is the one we just looked at, right? But Charles Schwab don't tell you they got this mutual fund. Ariel Investments tells you about it. All right? Again, we're going to be blackity black. Let's be blackity black. Ariel Schwab survey finds distrust of market finance sector. This was written in April of 2022 by Mayor Bloomberg, right? So, not to get political, but let's look at people who are currently criticizing VP Madam Harris, right? No matter how you voted for her, if you did or you didn't. I'll tell you guys I didn't, but still. We're going to put some respect on the name, even though she ain't a black woman. But we talk about the fact that she is $20 million in debt and she blew $1 billion. But let's not forget that Michael Bloomberg, when he ran, blew at least $500 million, and he manages a hedge fund. So for somebody who doesn't work in finance to be so fucking criticized when Bloomberg, who he only got rich because he created the ticker, let's slow down on criticizing her for that. Not saying that it's not fucked up and stupid, but if we look at performance, right? Actually, let's go back to products. Let's look at their mutual funds. Let's look at their appreciation fund, right? So when you go to fund materials, remember, anybody who's telling you to invest, you need to be getting this, a prospectus, before you put a dime in any investment. See, this is shit these other motherfuckers ain't going to tell you. So you can actually view the summary prospectus or the prospectus itself, the statement of additional information. If an insurance agent is getting with you, ask them for their company's annual report. Hey, can I get the annual report? A lot of these motherfuckers ain't gonna know what they're talking about. I know this is probably boring because it just looks like a bunch of charts and numbers. But this is where your motherfucking money comes from. Right? This is what's important. Right? So now I want to show you something else, right? I'm gonna go to ChatGPT for this. You could buy a house using life insurance. Peep this. Life insurance versus 401k. I checked this out the other day. I wrote this the other day from ChatGPT. I wrote to ChatGPT. Where is it? Explain using life insurance as collateral for a home purchase. Right? So we're gonna get down to the nitty-gritty, because this is shit that they not teaching us. They teaching us buy term insurance, buy an IUL, but not fund it properly. Buy an IUL so I can get paid a shit ton off of it. Right? So using life insurance as collateral for a home purchase is a strategic way to leverage the cash value of a permanent life insurance policy such as whole life or your index universal life to help you secure a mortgage. It can be beneficial for meeting lender requirements or improving your borrowing terms. Here's how it might work. You establish the cash value. You hear a lot of motherfuckers tell you, oh, listen, what about opportunity and time cost? Nigga, what do you think you got to do when you put money in your 401k? There's opportunity and time cost, because in your 401k, you can't touch that money. It's what's called qualified funds, meaning it reduces your current income, so you pay less taxes a day. But let's keep it funky. In the last 40 years, have you seen income tax go up or down? We've only seen it go up. So why in the fuck would I put money into something that's going to have my taxes higher in the future when I'm retired and unable to do things like work overtime? Right? So, first, you'll need a permanent life insurance policy that's accumulated significant cash value. This is only possible a whole life, universal life, index universal life, or variable universal life. I do not suggest variable universal life insurance. If you want to invest, invest. Go to Ariel Investments and invest with them motherfuckers. Do not put your money in a life insurance policy that is variable, because that's investing. That's commingling the two. You can do an indexed universal, but do not do a variable universal. And then traditionally, you don't want to do a traditional universal. You want to do an indexed universal if you're going to do universal life, either indexed or whole life. And if you need a large death benefit, you do term. I believe in all. I believe it's like 4 fucking wheels on a car. You need term life insurance. You need a permanent life insurance. You need a 401k, and you need an IRA. Otherwise, your car don't fucking go. Your investment vehicle won't move. But again, a lot of these motherfuckers are out here just to get money for their own pocket. I tell people all the time, you're going to make me rich, but only if it benefits you more. Why? Because then you're going to go run tell that to your other folks. So step 2, assign the policy as collateral. What they tell us as black folks is to borrow money from your policy. Why the fuck would you borrow money from your policy when you can borrow against your policy? What's the bigger number, the cash value you have in your policy or the death benefit? Most of the time, the death benefit is bigger. This is what rich motherfuckers are doing. Again, I curse, I spit, I smoke, I listen to gangster rap. Excuse my language, but I know this shit is raw, so I'm going to give it to you raw. Instead of withdrawing your cash value or taking a loan from the policy, you can use it as collateral with the lender. The lender would be listed as collateral assignee on the life policy. This means that if you default on the mortgage, the lender has claims to the policy's cash value. So what does that mean? That means they can't foreclose on your house and take your fucking 4 walls from you. So now you've just found a way to trick the system and keep your fucking house. Step 3, collateral assignment. This is a temporary transfer of rights. You still own the policy and maintain control. And y'all, if I'm boring y'all, or if you got questions, please stop me. Don't let me take over the show.
Right? Nah, you good.
All right.
You cooking.
You still own the policy and maintain control, but the lender has secured the interest until the loan is repaid. Sheed, you know I've been talking this, but I just had to put it in ChatGPT so motherfuckers understand I'm not bullshitting. Right? Once the mortgage is paid off, the collateral assignment is terminated and full control of the policy reverts to you. Qualifying for the mortgage. By using the life insurance policy as collateral, you may meet the lender's requirements for reserves or secure better loan terms, especially if you lack sufficient assets. But meanwhile, the mortgage bankers keep telling you to rob your fucking self and borrow from your 401k. Do you know there's a maximum you can borrow from your 401k? A maximum of $50,000. Which then decreases your growth. Unlike life insurance where you grow uninterrupted compound interest. Oh, by the way, fucking ChatGPT put that together for me too. Example scenario. Let's say you want to purchase a $500,000 home and you need 20% down payment, which is $100,000. Let's say you have an index universal life insurance policy with cash value of $120,000. Instead of taking out the traditional cash value loan or withdrawal, you can opt to sign the policy as collateral for the mortgage. The lender will see this as additional security, improving your chances of getting approved for or obtaining better interest rates. Pros and cons, because there's pros and cons to everything. Pros are it improves your buying power. Having life insurance as collateral can make you more attractive to lenders because it adds an extra layer of security for the loan. It preserves your cash flows. Instead of liquidating other assets like taking money from your 401k, and if you don't pay it back within 5 years, now that becomes a taxable event. So that $50,000 that you borrowed tax-free, now you got to pay that back, and now you got to pay taxes on it like you earn income of an additional $50,000. Instead of liquidating assets for a down payment, you can keep your money working for you within the life insurance, allowing the cash value to continue compounding. Why? Because even if, let's say you borrowed the $100,000 from the $120,000 from your life insurance, and I'm not just going to speak it, I'm going to show it to y'all, right? I walk it like I talk it like the Migos. Let me check the chat and make sure, hey, all right, everybody, I want to make sure motherfuckers are still, boringly entertained. Right? Flexible repayment. If the policy has a strong cash value, it can potentially cover mortgage payments in the event of financial difficulty, reducing the risk of foreclosure, and continued protection. So the death benefit remains intact, offering protection to your beneficiaries, even while the policy is assigned as collateral. The lender only claims the amount needed to satisfy the loan. Go ahead, brother.
I'm gonna say two things with that. All right, so for people that have the life insurance and you pay that money up in front, let's say you have 100,000 or something, mess around, play with, found the money, whatever. When it come down to it, look at the situation with Jay-Z and Beyonce. They bought their house in California. It was like massive, 20 million, 30 million, whatever. They bought the house cash and then came back. They didn't refinance it. They just took a loan off of it. I mean, hey, you bought the house in cash. That's why most people say it's silly to pay things off fully when you can use the money that you have, the leverage to make more money. If I have $250,000 to buy a house, yeah, I can pay that house off. Don't have to pay $2,500, $3,000 a month, or I can start paying that $2,000, $3,000 a month. I mean, I could start paying that for the first 2-3 years or something. Take that money, invest into something, make it more money, and say, well, I made enough money to where I can go ahead and just pay the house off, and I still have money on the side. So that's a good way of handling that situation. Having life insurance there in a bind, it helps. But remember, having that cash value in there. If you don't have the money all at one time, let's say over the years, you put it into your policy. That's like with me. 78 might be far enough for most or some, but when it come down to it, by the time I hit 78, I have $4.3 million in my policy. And that's not something that after 78, I'm just gonna say, man, I'm gonna keep paying. I can take that money out. But the thing is, structuring your policy the right way, then you know how to work through. Somebody come at you and say, man, you give me this much money, I promise you. You can't make promises unless you have it on paper. I can tell you one thing, but when you go to sign that lease or go to sign that loan, it's going to be something totally different. How many times you went and tried to buy a car, and most people not even looking at the interest rate? You just signed the paperwork because you got the car. I seen a video where a lady, she ended up getting a brand new car at what was it, 160 some months.
Yeah,
I'm like,
and it was like $350 for like fucking 30
yeah,
years or something.
yeah, it was crazy. I'm like, let's start at 12 months. Being 12 times 12 is 144. So anything over 12 years, that's astronomical by itself, going into the months. So, like I said, it's just the whole thing. People are selling you stuff and you not paying attention. That's what they looking for, the people they can get over. So when Alonzo's breaking this down, in layman's terms, he's just trying to show you to avoid all this stuff. Make sure you know what you're signing. Make sure you know if you do put your money somewhere, know where the money's going.
I'm also telling you all come see me, but right. But there are cons to it. So some of the cons are limited cash value. Let me tell you why that's not exactly a con. The rich, wealthy people insure one life at least 7 times. right? So if you're doing it for a collateral assignment, you know you don't want to access the cash value on this policy because you're using this to buy your house, right? Potential policy lapse. If the value depletes due to unpaid loans, which if your policy is structured properly, you're not going to worry about those unpaid loans. Or market conditions. This is why I tell you not to get a variable universal life, because variable universal life deals with market conditions. You don't want market exposure. Life insurance is a guaranteed product. So a variability to a life insurance is the stupidest thing you could ever do. And then tax implications. If the policy loan is taken out and the policy lapses, it could create a taxable event. Again, your policy should be set up in a way where it's not going to lapse. Now, it says comparison with 401k loan for mortgage down payment. Again, I ain't typed this up. ChatGPT did this. So it tells you the factor using life insurance as collateral or a 401k loan. Because all your mortgage brokers just borrow from your 401k. Impact on your retirement savings. Life insurance as collateral? None. But if you do a 401k loan, it reduces your 401k balance. You got access to cash value. Technically, it's restricted during the assignment. But on the 401k, hey, you do have full access to the money, but you have a repayment obligation. And if you're taking $50,000 out for a first-time home purchase only, first-time residential home purchase only, then you're stuck paying taxes on every dime above that. And if you're under 59 and a half, you're going to pay 20%. So, while it sounds nice, it fucks you up still. Credit impact. There's no direct credit impact. Guess where the only place you can get a loan where you don't have to have, you don't even have to be having a job, you can still take a loan from your life insurance. Whereas any other way that you get a job, maybe there is no credit check, but you still have to show proof of possibility of paying back the loan. It also increases your debt to income ratio. So if your debt to income ratio increases, then that puts you out of position to qualify for that mortgage. So how fucking stupid is it for somebody to tell you as a mortgage loan originator, well, if you borrow from your 401k, then you're good. Knowing damn good and well that's going to change your debt to income ratio. Tax considerations, because we all don't like paying taxes. Generally, no tax implications. There's potential penalties and taxes if it's not repaid within 5 years. Policy growth. Life insurance is collateral. Your cash value continues to grow. Like I said, I'm not just going to talk it. I'm going to show it. On the 401k, there's no growth on borrowed 401k funds. Let's also do this. Oh, hold on. Boom. So I'm going to show you some of the carriers I write for. This is the main carrier I write for because I found that it's, oh, Jesus Christ. All my fucking phones. I got to reset my password. Hold on. Give me 1 second there. 7, 3, 6, 4. Right? So we're going to do illustrations. I'm going to create illustrations on both of these. Right? Again, y'all ain't going to see this from most of these fake motherfuckers. So make sure you come see me. And when you come see me, I do charge a fee. But trust me, as you can see, I know more than the average motherfucker. Right? So we're going to look at Prudential as well. Right? So these are some of the others I write for: Nationwide, Prudential, Security Mutual Life of New York, which used to be with MCU, and Equitable, which is AXA. Right? So we're going to put the same shit in for this one as we are as the other one. Right? So I got this person here as age 48. Right? And we are in the state of New York in this one. Hold on, let me see. New Jersey, okay. Right? So first, I'm going to show y'all how. So you see I didn't put anything in here where it says amount, right? Let me increase this screen for y'all. Right? So it says amount. automatically, and this is why I say the IUL is not a cheap product. The insurance company off rip thinks you putting at least $1,200 a month into this policy, right? And this is just for $100,000 face amount. I put this as Chase Bank self-directed IRA to change, protect the client's name. But this is an IUL. We're not going to do a value plus. We're going to do a growth. Right? Now, let's do this. We're going to put percent of target. We're going to do to age, since he's 48, we're going to do to age 65, right? Because nobody should pay for life insurance for their whole life. What's $1,200 a month? So we're going to say he's paying $15,000 a year into the policy. This is what happened to Waka Flocka, right? And if you'll see here, these are indexes, just like those ETFs you hear about, right? Your current interest rate is 4% in the fixed, or 5.292% in the S&P 500. But if I go here, IUL interest, right? So that's what we can legally show you. IUL rates. October, September, November 2024 rates, right? So I'm going to show you outside of New York right now. So max illustration rate, meaning the maximum that I can show you legally, is 5.92%, which is what you see here, the assumed rate of 5.92%. But then it shows you the actual rate. So this is what you're actually getting. So all I can show you is 5.92%, so that those investment motherfuckers have a chance against me, when what you're actually going to be getting is 9.25%. Why do we do that? Because otherwise you wouldn't fuck with these investment people. You'd only fuck with life insurance. Also, again, I'm going to just do some education. I'm glad y'all live, because I was going to go live, but I need to reach also other audiences than my own. So now I'm going to show you how. Let me close some of these windows. We're going to close this. Let's create an illustration. New Prudential. We're going to do the Prudential Momentum. Create client. Close. Chase Bank. So. Yes, babe. Okay. I thought you were saying something to me. Yes, I am. Face amount. Minimum. Premium specified. 15,000. We're gonna set up to age 65. Disbursements we're not gonna do. Accounts we're gonna put the NASDAQ 50. And we're gonna put here 50. Policy options. Riders, we're gonna output options. And I want the internal rate of return. All right, I'm just calculating some stuff here.
Hey, I just got back in the truck, man. They asking what a website coming from.
Say again.
They just text my phone saying like what website this is you get this off of.
This website you don't have access to. This is my back office. This is shit y'all not supposed to see. Yeah, this is my back office. This is where I quote stuff. Y'all can't get to this unless you are a licensed agent. My bad. Like I said, I talk it like I walk it, right? So y'all will never see this because y'all will never have access to this unless you get your insurance or investment license.
See, they said that they need a one-on-one because They trying to keep up with you, Alonzo. You know, you running with it, bro.
I know. So yeah, listen, I got booking information in my description of my videos. Right? So we're gonna calculate these here. Just so I can show you. So what I did right now was I showed you what most people are doing. They're kicking you in the ass with an IUL, right? So I did this IUL for a 48-year-old male who's healthy, right? $15,000 a year, right? That will get him a $634,000 death benefit, right? Now, you also want to see what you get out of that policy. So you get things like living benefits. You get 12 months or less to live, a terminal illness, you get 75% of your death benefit tax-free. Boom. Right? A chronic illness mean you can't perform 2 activities of daily living, mean you can't bathe yourself, toilet yourself, feed yourself, dress yourself. You get up to 50% of your death benefit tax-free, lump sum paid out to you. Critical illness, blindness due to diabetes, end-stage renal failure, kidney dialysis, a whole bunch of other shit. You get a quarter of the death benefit. Let's see that here, just so you see qualifying for living benefits, terminal, chronic illness that doesn't exceed 12 months, chronic, toileting, bathing, continence, such and such, critical illness, invasive life-threatening cancer, stroke, major heart attack, end-stage renal failure, major organ transplant, ALS, blindness due to diabetes, paralysis of 2 or more limbs, coronary artery bypass, heart valve replacement, aneurysm, benign brain tumor, aplastic anemia, if you get into a coma or get a major burn, right? But now I want you guys to look at the numbers. Again, you definitely want to go do a one-on-one. So go to my channel, click the links in my bios. I have options there where you can schedule a consult. All right, yeah, these websites, unfortunately, you will never see because technically I ain't supposed to be showing you this. I'm just supposed to show you, look, $15,000 a year gets you a $634,000 death benefit, right? That's all I'm supposed to show you. I'm also going to show it to you from Prudential. And again, there goes my information, Alonzo Hall. There's my address, right? And I'm in New Haven, Connecticut. That's my fucking address. That's my New Jersey insurance license number, all right? I'm all the way. You can't put your bullshit on. Yeah, say Alonzo Hall, your financial professional, may be an agent operating under his or her own firm or an independent broker or financial services with Prudential. I'm an independent broker. So I don't work for any. Fuck the company. I work for you, the client. Right? So now I want to show you guys the numbers because this is the nitty gritty. And the reason I'm doing this is more or less because you said your cousin's sons are doing the football thing. So they've got guaranteed policy values. You never want to really worry about guaranteed policy values. For layman's terms, that's FDIC, right? But again, insurance. So why the fuck wouldn't we get insurance? You're going to get an investment, but you wouldn't go to an investment that's not FDIC insured. So why the fuck wouldn't you get insurance, right? Again, what you want to look at is the non-guaranteed policy values. The alternate scale is the midpoint between the guaranteed and the non-guaranteed. So what does guaranteed mean? That means worst case scenario, you bought this policy today and the insurance company started hemorrhaging money. They would have enough reserves for your money until everything goes to zero. In this case, it would be until you're age 68. Mind you, let's also look at annual outlay. Remember, you're paying $15,000 a year into this policy, but I told you nobody should pay for life insurance for their whole fucking life. So 17 years in, you're going to stop paying, right? So over the course of 17 years, you spent $255,000 on this policy. And this is a bad policy, IUL, by the way. I didn't set it up good yet. Let me close some of these windows, right? And yeah, to Raw or She, like I said, interject anytime because I could go over this shit for hours because I love to educate. So over the course of 10 years, you've put $150,000 in, but you have access or your account value is $126,000. You have to borrow against $125,000. So if I whip out my calculator and do some math, because people always tell you that term insurance is cheap, which it is, but just because it's cheap, you want to get a $10 million death benefit, not a $634,000 death benefit. If I do 150,000, right? Because we're just looking at 10 years. Black people, we got to start looking at things in terms of decades, not days. That's why we're fucked, right? President Trump is president right now. Great. Who the fuck is running in 2028? That's what we need to be looking at. If you look at one of the videos I posted, there's an Indian guy who was talking to a Pakistani. This Pakistani man is worth $200 million. You know what he said? He said, listen, I want to give you $500,000 so my family can build a hospital in my family's name 300 years from now.
Now that's really goddamn. Now that's what it's about right now. I ain't never think of that now. Hey, look, I'm here for it. 74. She got a question for you on the screen right there.
Let me see. Hold on. So pre-existing conditions are plausible. You got to realize I'm here. I'm not looking at the screen, so that's why I told him to stop me and get in there with it. So pre-existing conditions you can be insured for. What will happen is, again, you pay for life insurance with your health, not with money. So you can possibly still get insured, but they'll do something called rate increase. Big discussions. What's up, bro? He says, stop cussing. So don't worry. Listen, I can cater my message for specific audiences. Oh, she gone. Damn. So what happens, however, is you if it is a pre-existing condition, you'll get what's called uprated, meaning that you can get the same policy, but maybe not the same features and benefits because it's going to cost you more for that policy. But again, at the end of 10 years, you didn't pay $150,000 to make sure your family got $692,000 of death or $643,000 of death benefit. You actually paid $23,000. Why? Because 150 or hold on, let me just do the math. Let's do it like savings minus debt. 150,000 minus 126,985. So you actually only paid 23,000 over the course of 10 years. Now, let's look at the course of 20 years or 17 years. So at the end of 17, and again, this is a bad IUL. I would not recommend you to take this IUL because it's not really set up to be cash flow robust for you. So at the end of 17 years, you've spent $255,000. Right? Now, if we subtract your cash value minus $345,008, you spent negative $90,000. So that means that the life insurance company paid you $90,000 over the course of the last 20 years to make sure that when you die, your family gets $643,000. Is that more expensive than term insurance? Where, yes, it seems more expensive up front, but over time, due to compound interest, you've made more money. By the way, you stop paying this at year 17. Let's say you live till age 78, right? You still only paid $255,000 out of your own pocket. Minus, now you have $577,327 worth of cash value. The insurance company paid you $322,000 to make sure that when you die, your family gets $643,000. Am I losing anybody here?
Now I'm with you right now. That's,
right.
They seem like they with you too. They like, wow, like for real. So
again,
this
is why.
Know what you're doing. But they don't know, so this is all new to them. I've been knowing you for like 2 years now, so I'm on it, bro.
Right, I want to show y'all through Prudential as well, right? Because they have some. Is this guaranteed? So they have something called internal rate of return. So if you'll notice, this is why they tell you it's expensive, because up front, if you look at the first few years, right, on this particular policy, and again, this one is set up to be bad. The internal rate of return on the surrender value is negative 71%, because when you first buy the policy, you have to take time to build up that cash value. The tax equivalent surrender value internal rate of return is negative 71% as well. Damn, you should have just got a term policy. Yeah, if all you wanted was a death benefit, because here your death benefit internal rate of return is 1,893%. And if you look at the tax equivalent, meaning if you were to go into a brokerage account and pay taxes on that money, you're at plus 2,912%. Right? Now, let's look at again at the end of that period. What did they do here? They made you pay for this one in perpetuity. This is why I don't like Prudential sometimes. So now let's just tweak one thing, right? I'm just going to tweak one thing, and we're going to do something else. We're just going to show you through Emeritus because it's easier than otherwise. So now I changed one thing, and your death benefit went a little bit lower. 631,000 versus 643,000. But let's go to the numbers. And again, when you're looking at this, you do need to read the entire illustration, right? I'm just doing this for the purposes of, being online, but we can go through the entire illustration. So on this one, again, you're buying a $631,000 death benefit. Your cash value is maybe about $2,000 higher. Until you get here, now it's $3,000 higher. Again, this still isn't the best bet for an IUL. But again, IULs aren't cheap. So unless you're really trying to spend, the rule of thumb is your age plus a 0 before you get into any of this infinite banking IUL shit that these motherfuckers talk online, right? But now we're going to change one more thing real quick, just one little thing, right? And I know you guys have no clue what I've changed, but when you're buying cash value life insurance, you're not supposed to buy the death benefit. You're buying more money. So again, same premium, $15,000, but now the death benefit is $213,000, right? This one, let me bring this from 200% to 175, right? So on the far left, the worst IUL, right, almost a $650,000 death benefit. The midpoint IUL, a $631,000 death benefit. The banging IUL, a $213,000 death benefit. Because when you're buying life insurance, depending on what you're buying it for, you're not buying the death benefit, you're buying the cash value. So at the end of 10 years, you spent $150,000. No, you didn't, because you got access to $166,000. Don't believe me? Let's pull out the calculator. 150 minus 166,508. So over the course of 10 years, the insurance company paid you $16,508 to make sure that your family got $213,000. No, $380,000 when you died. Well, what happened? Well, what happened was I set the policy up in a way that you're building so much cash value that your death benefit has to go up. So now let's go here. Remember, you're only paying into this policy for 17 years. So you're paying that same $255,000, right? At the end of 20 years, you've come out of your pocket $255,000. Subtract $429,912, which is your cash value. The insurance company paid you almost $175,000 to make sure that when you die, oh wait, there's that $643,000. So just live for 20 years.
Hey, so look, Alonzo.
Yes, sir.
I don't think I'm here for it. 74 was here earlier. She said, so the money I'm paying into my work, my beneficiaries, they won't receive all of that money after my final arrangements are paid for?
Glad you asked that. I'm about to show y'all looking at my email and everything. So y'all going to see something that I did sent to Black First Media, which is tab. We're going to open this in a new tab. You see this written by Michael Ralph of New York University? All right. I want y'all to see something. On August 25th, 2011, NBC and other news outlets reported a scheme that U.S. presidential candidate Rick Perry, then governor of Texas, had concocted in 2003 to take out life insurance on retiring public school teachers through the Swiss firm UBS. The rationale behind Perry's indecent proposal: these senior citizens had a high statistical probability to die within the next decade, and when they did, the government in Texas could turn a profit. Michael Moore examines a similar practice in his 2009 documentary Capitalism: A Love Story, through a devastating revelation that a number of Fortune 500 companies, including Bank of America, Citibank, McDonnell Douglas, Hershey, Nestle, Walmart, Procter & Gamble, and American Express, have made use of what industry insiders call COLI, corporate-owned life insurance, more commonly known as dead peasant insurance. When Daniel L. Johnson died of cancer, Moore tells us that Amity Bank had made more than $5 million on policies that had been taken out in his name that were never shared with his dependents. I hope that answers your question. I got life insurance from a job.
They took out.
I got life insurance
They
from a
took
job.
how much out of it? This family never got what?
$5 million. His family got zero.
And that's crazy because like I don't work jobs, and I used to say that same thing. Like, man, I got insurance on my job, my kids and my family gonna be straight. So is it somewhere in them fine prints that we don't read, that we just sign at work or whatever? Is it somewhere in there where it state that as tell us like we won't receive, our family won't receive these benefits?
They're highly likely, yes. I can't say because I've been on jobs and I ain't read it neither. I just signed.
Yeah.
Right? Which is what we do.
90 days.
Listen, I got the job. Who
90
these
days.
benefits? Let me just sign. Right? I'll put this in the chat for folks, so you can look at the article. Oh shit! It failed. Hold on.
She said that's wild as F. Alonzo, suddenly I have anxiety. Red flag. Hey.
Don't have anxiety.
For you, especially if you've been on them jobs.
For 20 and 30 years, right?
Dumping money into that drug, and that's something to protest about, talk about. Like, hey, that's something to talk about.
So they've since, there's been stuff that's changed about that. Now, while we're at it, just so you guys know, right? I'm a licensed insurance agent, so I'm able to sell you not just a traditional IRA, but a money purchase plan, an HR 10 KEO, an SEP IRA, a simple IRA, a 403B or a thrift savings account if you're a government employee, a Roth IRA, a 457 government plan if you're a policeman or firefighter, a defined benefit plan, profit sharing, or a 401k. But again, a lot of these life insurance agents don't even know what the fuck they can do with their life insurance license. Right? And again, variable life insurance, I do not like variable life insurance. I would not tell you to buy variable life insurance. I get paid a shit ton from it, but you don't get any benefit from it. I would stick with an index universal life or a traditional whole life. Now, again, these numbers I'm showing, these are on the low end of the high end, but these are how you really get things like that going, right? Things like private placement life insurance, because life insurance is a way to avoid taxes. Watch this. We're going to go back to ChatGPT, right? Check this out. Explain in detail the rich man's Roth. The rich man's Roth is a nickname for an index universal life insurance policy structured in a specific way to serve as a tax-advantaged wealth-building tool for high-income earners. It don't have to be. Who are often restricted by contribution limits or income caps on traditional retirement accounts like a Roth IRA. Because you can only put $7,000 a year into a Roth IRA. There is no limit to how much money you can put into an IUL. The concept revolves around using permanent life insurance policy, typically an IUL, to mimic the tax-free growth and distribution features of a Roth IRA, but without the income and contribution limits. It can be a powerful vehicle for those who have maximized their contribution to traditional retirement accounts, earned too much to qualify for a Roth, or seek additional ways to build tax-free income. The rich man's Roth.
Hey, Indigo got a question for you right there, bro. I put it on the screen for you. She just put it up there.
So the answer is all the best life insurance policy to have is one that's in force when you need it. However, we speak against Primerica in my industry as a whole. We call it Scamerica. The one benefit to Primerica is they are actually an insurance company, meaning they do their own underwriting, they issue their own policies, and they do pay their claims. However, Primerica has a maximum death benefit of $500,000. So since we're at it, we're going to go here. I want everybody to go to this website, www.lifehappens.org, because we talk about this. I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to close my windows. I'm not even going to show y'all no more illustrations. Y'all want that? Come see me, right? Let's go to Google. How many years is a generation? 20 to 30 years. Let's say it's 20 years. What is the average income of in the U.S.? 37,000. No, it's got to be more than that. 59,000. Yeah, average annual nationwide is almost 60,000. Okay. So, if we do some calculations, right? Like I said, Primerica has, I believe, a maximum death benefit of 300, if not 400,000. It also doesn't have you take a full medical exam. Anytime you're going for life insurance, you want to get what's called fully underwritten. You don't want to get simplified issue or no underwriting, because you're paying more for it. Imagine me telling you, hey, listen, you're going to give me some money, or I'm going to give you some, I need you to loan me some money. Now, you don't need to see if I'm credit worthy. You don't need to know me. Just give me the money. Well, then, and I'm going to pay you back. Well, then you're going to make sure that when I pay you back, it's worth your while, because you don't know shit about me. But if you know me and I'm your cousin, don't worry about it. Get it back to me whenever you can, because you know I'm good for it. Well, that's what you're doing when you do a no exam life insurance. So let's say 20 times 60,000. The average American needs a $1.2 million death benefit. You can't get that with Primerica. You can get a $400,000 death benefit with Primerica. Let's do this. TermLifeOnline.com, right? Just so you guys know, because a lot of this buy term, invest the difference sounds nice. But again, here's a website that sells term life insurance. This ain't even mine. What is the probability of death during the term of my life insurance? On average, life insurance company may expect to pay a death claim on a term life policy for about 1 of every 100 people insured. So while they tell you, yeah, them whole life agents, and I sell term life too, them whole life agents, and I'm not a whole life agent. I don't like whole life. I like IULs, but I like the product that fits your needs best. So this is a company that not a company that sells term life insurance, and they're telling you insurance companies get their money off of term life insurance because they know that out of every 100 motherfuckers that they insure, they only got to pay 1 death claim. So you're a 1%er if you die and your family gets the benefit of your term life insurance. Right?
Hey, she got another question up there, Indigo. She said,
right, the best, there is no best, right? It depends on your situation. If you only want death benefit, then get a term policy. But you need to get a big ass term policy, because again, 400,000, and let's go to Google. What is the max death benefit with Primerica? Did you know Primerica? Let's see. What is the maximum death benefit with Primerica? 400,000, like I said. 400,000. What's that going to do for your family when we just showed you the math, right? A generation, if you make, at least $50,000 a year, you need at least a $1 million death benefit to leave 20 years of generational just making it, because $50,000 ain't wealth. Right? But black people, we buy life insurance more than white people, but we buy it wrong because we got so many Primericans who don't know what the fuck they're doing. Did they also tell you to put your money in a mutual fund? The average pour into a mutual fund is $25,000. So while they tell you to put 20, and they didn't give you a prospectus with their mutual funds. So while you put $25 a month into their mutual fund, number one, you're going to have to put that $25 a month in for 1,000 months to equal the average minimum pour into a mutual fund, which is $25,000. Just so you know, 360 months is 30 years. So what they're telling you sounds nice. It makes that Primerica agent get that free BMW and a fucking trip to Jamaica, but it don't do shit for you and your family. Now, we're not just going to pick on Primerica, because there's a whole bunch of motherfuckers with PHP, People Helping People, FFL, Family First Life, GFI, Global Financial Impact, WFG, World Financial Group, who else? SFG, Symmetry Financial Group, Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance, which is Final Expense, and all these motherfuckers know is to push product and fuck you, the average American, over. They will never show you any of the shit that I'm showing. Half of them don't know it. Like if you were to ask a cat, I'm going to look at my channel real quick, just because I put up a video showing how cash value life insurance is accumulated. Because a lot of these motherfuckers don't know how cash value life insurance accumulates their cash value. Part of it is from the premiums of your, what's the name? Shit, I got to see how long ago I did this. So this was the one where I was talking about the 300 years. Can you hear the guy talking?
I don't hear it.
You ain't hear it?
I don't hear it over here.
All right. So she says, I had to take a full exam. Pretty pink. So Lady Charisma says, so I have an appointment with an agent for mortgage insurance. So you have an appointment with an agent to get a term policy, Lady Charisma. Mortgage protection insurance is literally just that. Right? So again, when people ask what is better, term or permanent, the best policy to have is one that's enforced at the time that you need it. But wealthy people insure one life 7 times. Prime example, you want to get your kid a college fund? Instead of spending financial advisor money on a Section 529, properly fund a life insurance policy. So I always say take the full exam and apply for the most that you can get. Just because you apply for $10 million doesn't mean that you have to take $10 million. But here's what you as the consumer don't know. If you apply for $1 million and then they come back, your offer is for your application is for an offer. Your application is not for the insurance. When you apply for insurance, you're not applying for the insurance. You're applying for the insurance company to take a look at their risk and say, we're willing to offer Lady Charisma X amount of dollars based on her health, her driving record, her credit history, her MIB, which is Medical Information Bureau, because we see all of that shit. Right? So that's what we're looking at it based upon. So I don't know how I can share it to use the sound. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stop my screen and then I'm gonna share it one more time. And that should allow me to share the audio. When you get the chance, I'll put that back up there. But I'm gonna answer some of these questions while we at it. So what you do is if you apply for $1 million, right, and you get what's called downgraded, like I'm here for it 74 said, where I was saying, if you have a pre-existing condition, you can get uprated. So that means that someone who's your same height, age, weight, and everything else might pay $100 a month, but because you have this pre-existing condition, they might make you pay $300 a month for the same thing, right? So you can also get downgraded, which means that you're the same height, weight, age as the next person, but your health is better than the person who's paying $100 a month. So they're going to make you pay $50 a month for the same thing. Well, now if you go for that $1 million policy and they downgrade you and they say, hey, we're going to give you $1 million policy for $50 a month, again, arbitrary numbers, you can't then turn around and say, well, you know what? Shit, I might as well get $5 million. Well, then they're going to put you through more underwriting, which is why you want to go through full underwriting to begin with. And through full underwriting, you apply for the most you can actually get. So life insurance companies will let you, will insure you for up to 30 times your annual income. So apply for that much. And then let them say, hey, listen, you make $100,000 a year, we'll let you get $3 million worth of death benefit. Okay. I don't intend on taking $3 million of death benefit because I can't afford it. But now I know that I'm guaranteed to be able to get $500,000 worth of death benefit, and y'all can't tell me no or no fucking hiccup because you already approved me for $3 million. It's just like your kids. When your kids ask you, hey, Dad, can I go here? Ask your mother. He already asked his mother. So you got to kind of hedge your bets, right? Now, let me see if y'all can hear this now. Hold on.
Question where, in case if my son gets a divorce, she's a client who's from Thailand, and she has one son, and she said, Sanjay, I'm putting this whole structure in place. What happens in case if my son gets a divorce? And I'm like, your son's 8 years old. And she's like, yeah, but I'm doing everything for him, and if he gets divorced, what happens to all the money? How many of you have had that kind of a question where they have a child who's 8 years old, and then the client asks you, yeah, but what happens in case if he goes through a divorce? I'm working all this hard. I'm making sure that things are good for them. And then they come up. Robert says, Sanjay, I have a lot of money today. And I do have this dream that one day my family builds a world-class hospital and a facility. And I said, okay, when would you like that to happen? And he said, Sanjay, not in my lifetime, not in my children's lifetime, maybe in my great-great-great-grandchildren's lifetime. And I said, interesting. So what do you want me to do? He said, if I gave you $500,000 today and I left it with you for the next 200 years or 300 years, can we put together a structure where nobody can touch this money for the next 200 or 300 years, but after 200, 300 years of compounding and growth, etc., they can use a portion of that to build a beautiful world-class hospital in the name of the family? And I said, that's a brilliant idea.
So again, black folk, so mortgage protection insurance and life insurance are the exact same thing. What he's offering you, Lady Charisma, is a term life insurance policy, right? We package it, and just like infinite banking is just a properly structured whole life insurance policy, right? Just like the rich man's Roth is just an overfunded IUL, right? But you guys don't know this because you guys don't sell insurance. So it sounds like something different, right? So like I was telling y'all, actually, like I said, I wanted y'all to go to this website, right? Hold on. Before you sit down with him, go to www.lifehappens.org. Go to calculators. You can go to human life value calculator, right? So let's say how much, let's say $60,000 a year. Let's say you got $5,000 in savings. Let's say you're 40 years old and you're going to retire in 27 years or at the age of 67. Let's say you already got $250,000 worth of life insurance. Let's say you've got some equity in your house. Let's say you got $75,000 worth of equity in your house. Let's click next. This person has a human life value of $2.038 million minus the $330,000 they got in resources. So they need at least $1.7 million of additional death benefit. You see how why when motherfuckers come and price shop for you, they fuck you over? Now, let's take another look at life happens. Let's go back to the calculators and look at life insurance needs. And you guys can go to this website. Hold on. This is www.lifehappens.org. Right? So you guys can go to that yourself. How much annual income would your family need to cover daily living expenses? So let's say, again, $60,000, right? Let's hit next. How many years should this income be provided? Let's say, you want to leave money just like child support. So your youngest child is 24. Let's say I got a 13-year-old. So we're going to say another 15 years. Hit next, right? How much debt would you like to pay off? Consider things like outstanding mortgage, private loan, and credit card debt, so on and so forth. So let's say the house is 450, car is 110, credit cards is like 75. So let's say $600,000 worth of debt, right? How much would you like to provide for childcare? I don't personally have children, so I don't need to worry about that. So we'll skip. But most people average is $1,400 a month, just so you know. But we're going to skip over that. So we're going to put 0 for childcare, right? How many children require college funding? Again, I don't have children, so I don't need to worry about that. But some people may. So you might add a child, say the child is 5. Say you want them to go to public school. Let's say I live in the state of Connecticut. We're just going to do one click next. How much would you like to set aside for an emergency fund? So let's say 1 year of my income, $60,000, right? How much personal life insurance? Let's say I got $1 million of life insurance already, right? Click next, right? It still says I need $658,000 worth of death benefit, right? Now it says income replacement, $788. College fund, $189,000. I didn't put that. This was already calculated. Burial cost, this was something that they came up with. A lot of people say the average funeral is like $8,000 to $12,000. They got this from the national average from motherfuckers who are the financial the federal whatever the burial association. Average funeral is $20,000 across America. Right? So again, you guys can go put your own numbers in there. Then you can download this as a PDF or email it. Right? But what you should really do is come sit down with me. Go ahead, Turo. I don't know if you're saying something. I can't hear you, boss. Can y'all hear me? I don't know if y'all can hear us. Well, I think Lady Charisma can hear me, but I can't hear you too raw. Right? But okay, so yeah, big discussions, you can hear it. Yeah, definitely. These are some of the things that you want to do on your own. Thank you, Shunda. You definitely want to do these things on your own. You don't want to just rely on shit, even me, right? Now, like I said, I'm probably one who I should be a lot better off financially than I am, but I don't screw my customers over, right? Because we're going to have a long-term relationship, right? And then what happens is often because I drop a lot of information on people, it becomes information overload and people want to be like, whoa, I need to think about it. And often it's a position where you can't even fathom that you've not heard this because you've not heard it anywhere else. And you say, well, now I got to do my research, but you don't even know where to research. Not to call you out, but it's like if Dr. Dunbar was to speak on something in his field, and I say, oh, I'm going to go do my research on it. Where, sir? I don't know where to start the research that he's got his education and knowledge and expertise in. He said, go ahead, go do your research. You don't know where to go research, but go ahead. You don't know what to go research. But go ahead, do your research. So it's the same thing. There are many people who are in my field who they don't even know what to tell you, right? Because, for example, the question that was asked earlier, what's better, term or whole life, right? Again, I don't like whole life or term, Indigo. I like IULs, but that might not be the best product for you, right? The best product for you might be a term policy. Did you know that there's more than just regular term? There's something called ROP term, return of premium term, where they return the premium to you, right? And if we're looking at the Black community, one of the things that we're often heavy in is, ironically enough, and I got to send some emails to some people about this, is the church and things like tithing. Well, there's things like a charitable remainder trust. Let's see if I can do this. So let's take a look at this. Yes, it opened in a different window. So I can't share it right now because it's in a different window. No big. He says pharmacology and toxicology are a lot less complicated than life insurance. Of course, they're a lot less complicated to you, but that's because you know pharmacology and toxicology. Let me tell you, I'd be just as confused in pharmacology and toxicology. So these are things called a charitable remainder trust. So this case study shows how a charitable remainder trust can be used for making use of a highly appreciated asset, since they provide an income stream and create sizable charitable gift and avoid the pain of a single large capital gains tax, right? The difficulty of me sending this out is I don't feel like paying the company to put my name on the information, but to the people of whom I need to send this information to, I don't think they're really concerned with having my name on the information. I'd rather them just have the information, since we already have a relationship, which is why I haven't sent the information out as of yet, because it wants to have me put your name and your logo. Listen, I don't want to do all that. I'm not paying you guys for me to put my name and my logo out there when I don't care about my name and logo. I care about my client getting the information. So with things like a charitable remainder trust, I have a young cousin. He's the pastor of a church. Do you know what he's doing right now? He's passing around that hat so he can get money for the roof fund. I'm like, bro, you ain't even been in this building 5 years. Why are you getting money for the roof fund? Well, instead of having Miss Johnson give her 10% to you so you can also receive some funds, why don't you have her put 5% of that into a life insurance policy? Because we all know that one day Miss Johnson is going to go to the upper room. And when she goes to the upper room, that 5% that she put of her 10% of her annual income for tithes, well, that will multiply your money, because that's what life insurance does. I don't care if it's term life, whole life, universal life, index, universal life, or variable. It multiplies your money. The moment you give that life insurance company $1 and they're giving you $1 million death benefit, they've 1 million folded your money. So once now Miss Johnson goes to the upper room and she leaves, $1 million to, AME Baptist COGIC. I actually have a young lady who's a big COGIC person on my team. She's now actually made an impact for the church. Now the church can actually, unfortunately, they can't even have these, even if they have a financial advisor in the church, they can't allow that person to speak. They have to get an outside person or risk losing their 401c3 status. So the government has definitely commingled church and state, right? Let's see here. Legislative update, event calendar. So yeah, those are just some of the forms and applications, right? But again, these are things that you, the general public, don't get taught. And it's very messed up that you, the general public, don't get taught these things, right? It's unfair because then it leaves people like me stuck having to do a whole education update. And I don't mind educating. It's fine for me to educate, but it's unfair because if we sit there and educate you, remember we do work on 100% commission. So I don't get paid unless I make a sale or unless you book a consult with me. I don't do free consults anymore. That's why I do social media, right? So I can kind of just vomit as much of the information out there. Okay, he said, keep talking. I'm talking and teaching. No problem. So, you know, I hurt because I want, especially my community, to learn a lot of this stuff, right? Since, excuse me, I can't really change. We're going to look at PPLI, right? A lot of people don't know what PPLI is. Private placement life insurance. Let's look at this. The Senate Committee on Finance. And Dr. Dunbar, I don't know if you know, but I was in a stream with the ex Comptroller General David Walker from 1998 to 2008. He was the Comptroller General. So I'm trying to get into some rooms with some big movers and shakers. And you know, just like I said, I got a potty mouth like the foul mouth CEO Ted Pick, who's the CEO of Morgan Stanley. Now he won't curse, spit, and smoke and listen to gangster rap while he's, you know, on MSNBC. So I do understand tailoring my message for my audience. But this here, Wyden exposes private placement life insurance as a tax shelter for the ultra wealthy. So regardless of who is in office, when we as regular Americans say tax the rich, it will never happen because the rich will just privatize. They will take advantage of something called the buy, borrow, die tax shelter for the ultra wealthy, right? It's the PPLI, or private placement life insurance industry, and it's of $40 billion in policies held by only a few thousand individuals who have net worth reaching into the hundreds of millions or billions of dollars. Marketing materials obtained by the committee from the largest PPLI providers revealed how products were explicitly promoted as tax-free investments in private equity hedge funds, as well as a means to dodge income, gift, and estate taxes. Policyholders were also able to borrow against those assets at extremely favorable rates. Isn't this what I just told y'all? Right? I'm not being fluffernutter when I say this. Now, then another thing, a lot of people say, well, if you don't have a $5 or $10 million net worth, you don't need PPLI. Nah. I'd beg to differ. Right? But again, these are things that, you know, this is what's going on in politics. And this was from February 24th, 2021. So this happened this year, right? So Wyden Hills, Biden-Harris action to expand access to contraception, right? So they're abusing tax preferences for typical life insurance, right? They did an 18-month investigation that said a few thousand policies abuse existing tax preferences for typical life insurance. Meanwhile, they keep telling us to get term insurance in the hood. Why? Because they just want us to pass on and hopefully pass on wealth, right? Let me see if I can put that other article in the chat, right? Let me close some of these windows out, right? But these are some of the things that we're dealing with as Black Americans, right? As Americans as a whole, but specifically as Black Americans, we definitely have that issue, right? It's like, why are they telling us, oh yeah, buy term and invest the difference? Oh my God. Wait till, Too Raw, I don't know if you can hear me. I'm going to stop my screen and see if I can share my whole screen again because I got something else to show y'all. Right? Just one more thing. Right? And like I said, this is why, you know, folks definitely come to me. Get that. I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, all right, bet. I don't know what happened.
I'm not sure. I just want to show one more thing, and then I'm gonna let you do you. I'm sorry, I ain't mean to hijack the
Nah,
show
bro,
like
you
that.
actually doing good. I wanted to tell people about. I was trying to talk, but they couldn't hear me. I wanted to just say this, like, from all the information that you giving everybody, like a lot of people thought that their job was covering them with their insurance and they was gonna be good, their family gonna be well off, but we found out different today, right? So I'm sitting back, I'm listening to you giving out free game with that the people that we already dealing with our insurance, they're not even sharing this information with us, right? So these are the black. My brother Alonzo Hall right here. He got an insurance company. Like, this is a guy that we should be dealing with for real. Like, somebody who can be upfront and honest with us and show us what's going on, rather than we just sitting on the other side of the computer screen and they over there seeing everything, but we not seeing everything. Like, your company, like you say, you should be better. You should be up higher than you are financially, like, because of what you're doing and stuff. So, and I wanted to say one more thing too. I wanted to say this. I know those old school insurance agents that who used to walk door to door to come to our grandma's house. Well, I know they looking back right now like, dang, boy, I wish we had that technology back then. You don't got to get out of bed right now. You're reaching a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, I just feel like Alonzo is somebody we should do business with, like, more black, like, support black entrepreneurs and black business owners, if that makes sense. And it's going to pay off for us in the long run, because it's going to get us a better insurance policy that we can leave behind for our loved ones, to not just for them to get through 2 years with it or a year with it. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about 20 plus years, like, it screw those 400,000 insurance, millions, man. Let's elevate and grow and help our people grow at the same time. Because Alonzo, you helping everybody right now. This big up, man. Like, you doing something you don't have to do. You know what I'm saying? But you should be paid for what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So we should support more people like Alonzo. That's all I gotta say. Now, you can share your screen, bro.
I just did. I appreciate it. I think the payment will come in. You know, everybody does things in their own time. I've been in this business almost 20 years now, right? So my understanding is, listen, you know, a whole bunch of people in the audience were like, hey, I need a one-on-one. They ain't gonna get it today, tomorrow. It might be next month. It might be next year. But folks will be like, you know what? I got a question. You know what? This brother just dropped all these. Let me go sit down with him. Yeah, okay, I got to pay this little fee. Cool. But paying this fee, if he could tell me this in general, what is it that he could tell me about my specific situation? Right? So I want y'all to see something. You see what this says right here? Bank of America National Association. You see, this was updated 2019. This is an old one. Anybody who worked at the bank knows what this is. This is a balance sheet. I want you to see what this says here. Number 5, include Federal Reserve stock, Federal Home Loan Bank stock, and Bankers Bank stock. Because this says dollar amounts in thousands. So this is where that number 5 was including stocks. So on this balance sheet, it says equity investments without readily determinable fair values. This is just for Bank of America. So remember, I told you all about COLI, corporate-owned life insurance, or your job having life insurance. Well, the banks, equity investments without readily determinable fair values, meaning the stock market. Now, line 5, life insurance assets. Our community don't know life insurance assets. We just know life insurance. Why do the banks consider life insurance assets? I'll show you why. General account life insurance, separate account, hybrid account. Remember, this is a balance sheet. And these dollar amounts are in thousands. So this is billions of dollars we're talking about. Bank of America put $6.1 billion into the stock market. In their general account life insurance, they put $2.9 billion. In their separate account life insurance, can you read that number to me right there? Bit too raw. Hold on. That number I just highlighted.
Let me see. I'm driving too now. You can't zoom in on it.
All right. I'll read it since you're driving. I don't want you to be dangerous. $19.4 billion. So if we add 19 427,000, right? Which that's millions, but we know it's billions, plus 2916000. They put damn near $23 billion into life insurance, but only $6 billion into investments. What are we going? What's going on here? Right? We're not going to stop with Bank of America. Let's continue. Another balance sheet. Citibank. See, a lot of your agents that y'all dealing with, no shade to them, but they don't even have access to this information. Right? So Citibank put $5.9 billion into the stock market and $5.4 billion into cash value life insurance. Okay, you say, well, breaks even. Let's look at a big boy bank, JP Morgan Chase. And remember, I was talking about nepotism earlier, too, Raw?
Yeah.
So let me show you how nepotism works in the business world, right? We know JP Morgan was an actual person of JP Morgan Chase Bank, right? We've also heard of a company called Morgan Stanley. I just told you about Ted Pick, the CEO of Morgan Stanley. Do you know that JP Morgan of Chase Bank is the grandfather of Henry Sturgis Morgan, the founder of Morgan Stanley? Most people don't know that. Right? If you want another black-owned investment firm, look at Harlem Capital. But now, let's look at this. JP Morgan Chase Bank, equity investments without readily determinable fair values. $6.1 billion. Life insurance assets, general and separate. $6.1 billion, $5.3 billion. So they put $11 billion into life insurance, but $6 billion into the stock market. That don't look like buy term, invest the rest to me. That looks like BOLI, bank-owned life insurance. So what is BOLI? Bank-owned life insurance is how you guarantee your retirement accounts. It's a pension, right? Oh, I'm going to expose the shit now, right? Let's just look at one more. Wells Fargo. Equity investments without readily determinable fair values. $5.3 billion. General account, 5.3. Separate account, 12.9. Hybrid account, 614 million. Why are they putting so many billions of dollars into cash value life insurance and not into the stock market? Let's do this. IRS.gov. Right?
Watching this, Alonzo, is making my mind roam right now. My mind going all over the place, right?
Now, you 40 like me, please listen, man. We could get a one-on-one. Y'all just whenever y'all ready. Like I said, my book and stuff is in my videos.
Yeah.
401k. We're all familiar with a 401k, right?
Right.
401k is tax deferred. It sounds great because it's qualified at Lloyd. If you make $100,000, you make $100,000, you put $25,000 in there. Now technically you only made 75, so you're only paying taxes on 75 this year, right? But it's tax deferred, so it grows. So now when it's time for you to receive that money or annuitize, you got to pay income tax as well as capital gains tax. Have you ever seen income tax go down in the last 40 years? So now I got to go over my paperwork. We've only seen income tax go up, right?
Yeah, the earned income credit, it goes up.
Right. Even the income tax goes up. They tax you more on it's just like overtime. The more you make, the more they take.
Right.
Right? Now, I just showed y'all a 401k. Y'all are familiar with. Y'all ready for something that y'all never seen? Fully insured 412E plan. This discusses requirement applicable to the fully insured 412E plan. The IRS issued guidance to stop abuses involving the certain specially designed life insurance policies and retirement plans. Did you know you could get a 412E instead of a 401k? You got to request it from your company, and most of the people aren't going to do it because most people like me who sell this aren't going to want to do the paperwork unless you got a big enough group. It's more of a tax write-off to your company to get a 401k. It's more of a tax benefit to your company to get a 401k. And then people like you two, Raw, who are self-employed, you might want to look at an SEP, maybe a solo 401k, maybe a Roth IRA, maybe a 162 executive bonus plan. See, what they didn't tell you was life insurance is part of the tax code. And like I said, I went to irs.gov, so you know I can't be bullshitting you. Let's look at 7702. What is it, A? 7702A. Why are they not? Let's just do life insurance. Oh. 712, 8295, 1099, 8295. Okay, we can't do it like that. IRC 7702.
Hey, did you drop your email down in the chat too?
I did not.
Or you can just say your email and I'll let So St. Louis, she'll drop it down there for me.
I just dropped it in there. Oh, it failed. Yeah, Alonzo Hall 374 at Gmail. That's my that's the one that comes right to my phone. So IRC 7702, right? Life insurance, the cost of individual life insurance insured, right? What's the difference between 401k and IRC 7702? In fact, hold on. Well, this is a PDF from irs.gov. Let's see if it opens in the same window. So this is a PDF from the IRS. For purposes determining whether a contract will qualify as life insurance contract under the 7702 of the Internal Revenue Code and Internal Revenue Code and Modified Endowment Contract 77020A, right? Facts. Internal Code is a life insurance company organized and licensed to do business in state and year. IC issued a policy in the state with a rider that provides term life insurance coverage on the life of a family member on the individual insured by the policy. The policy is a life insurance contract under the law of the state and was designed to qualify as a life insurance contract. By meeting the guideline premium requirements of 7702 and falling within the cash value corridor, insurance company imposes a charge for the mortality risk that is assumed pursuant to the rider. Y'all can go ahead and Google IRC 7702 and get this PDF. Right? So again, this is stuff that, you know, I could keep dropping more, right? But you've been going for almost 3.5 hours, so I want to tie you up. Plus, I need to go get me some lunch. Any last minute questions?
Hey, no, but just listening to the whole everything, and then you asked the question on like why they dumping billions of dollars into the life insurance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like my mind be everywhere sometimes, man. Like I thought about all the way back into the pandemic and all that other stuff that the C-19 hit, people dying left and right. So many people died like in record numbers around that time, and I know a lot of insurance companies was like kicking that money out crazy, right? Mm-hmm. The ones that was kicking the money out or whatever, like I wasn't thinking of like maybe these pandemics and these diseases they coming out with, like it's kind of money that's just sitting there, right? When it's billions of dollars, everybody pay insurance probably every year on everything, not just life insurance, but just like all the money that's just sitting out there in insurance, right? But especially life insurance, right?
Oh, bro, I used to own Allstate, so I do insurance. I used to do car insurance too.
Yeah, so it's money that's just sitting there, right, that nobody's really using. So I believe when they did like my mind go other places, y'all. Forgive me now, but I just can't help but think about like that's ways that they put money. They control the population. by like taking a lot of people out, and then all this money that just go back into that was just sitting there, now it's going back out there into the economy. Like, you feel me? It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just what my mind went with that. You feel me? But it just went everywhere. Like, it just. It's confusing a lot too, but like the information that you're giving, bro, is much needed. That's why, like, I sat back, I let you just do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And
I appreciate it.
Because people need this. Like, if you don't got life insurance out there, man, I urge y'all to go get y'all some life insurance, man. And if you need somebody to talk to about life insurance, this guy, hey, Alonzo, my brother, he right here, man. He right here. Y'all see, he the life insurance guru around here. Like, that's how I know you got.
Thank you.
Like for real.
So this is the last thing I want to share, because there's a situation that we have, especially in our community, that we go through way too much, and that's, you know, my grandpa died, and I think he had life insurance, but he ain't tell nobody. So you can actually do what's called the NAIC, which is the National Association of Insurance Commissioners, Lost Policy Locator. Right? So it helps you to find your lost policy. So you would go here to the Lost Policy Locator, you verify you're human, right? You know, then you got to go through all the whatever that has bags, boom, 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 firm, right? And then, you know, they have the frequently asked questions, but your statement of understanding, let's go through this. So you would enter your information, right? And then on the next level, you would enter the information of your dead grandpa. And then that would be that, right? And then they're going to look at every insurance company in the country, and there's 700 of them. And they're going to say, hey, listen, you got 30 days to scour your records and tell us whether or not this person has an insurance policy. If they didn't, you won't hear anything back from NAIC. If they did, within a month, they're going to say, hey, Too Raw, you know that grandpa that you told us about? Yeah, he did have an insurance policy. Here's the company, call them, and you can get your death benefit.
And stuff like that doesn't expire, right?
No. Well, so there is a point where it becomes unclaimed funds, and then the insurance company just reabsorbs it. But that's over a decade, generally. So that's it for me. I'm gonna save some stuff because I got about another 3 hours worth of education I could drop on y'all. But I'll say that this will just be to whet your appetite, so that you see that I'm probably a hell of a lot different than anybody you've ever spoken to about this stuff. And yes, I do charge a fee. My fee is very nominally small. I know people who charge $4,000 for, according to the information that I just gave y'all. And people pay it willingly, right? I don't even charge $1,000 to sit down with them. So, all in all, that's why I said financially I could be a hell of a lot further, but I'd rather give this information to my people, right? Because an empowered nation and an educated client makes my job a hell of a lot easier. Plus, the less money you spend on fees, the more money you spend on products that pay me commission. So I am a fee-based advisor. You'll have fee-only advisors who only charge a fee, and they don't get paid a commission by the company from selling the product, whether that be an insurance and investment. Then you'll have commission-only advisors. Those are those guys who say, come get a free consult, come get a free quote, but they are going to highly pressure you into buying a product because they don't get any money for sitting down with you. Then there are people like me who are fee-based. I get bid of both. I get paid a fee from you, the customer, and I get paid a commission if you place business with me from the company. What happens, however, is there's no pressure from me because you've already paid me a fee. So now when we sit down, hey, listen, this is what you say you want. This is your best interest. If you get it or not, hey, that's on you. I've already been paid my fee. I ain't gonna pressure you. Right? Now, it definitely makes stuff to sense to do that. But like I said, man, that's my thing. And you guys know my motto: wipe ass, work in progress every day in CC. When people challenge you, they don't challenge you to challenge you. They challenge you to challenge you. Accept the challenge.
Facts, man. I appreciate you coming up here, man. Appreciate you, Lonzo, man. You have a blessed rest of your day, bro. And I'm sure everybody else up here appreciate you too, man. Y'all go check out his channel, man. He got a dope channel. Y'all know he dope. He just showed y'all he was dope. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. And y'all can learn a little more about him over there on his channel too. Like, he got a dope story to tell. Everything, man. So salute to you, brother, and I appreciate you coming up here gracing my platform, man.
No doubt, man. And everybody get on that train, man. Peace.
Yeah, ride that train. Y'all ride that train right over there to Alonzo house, man. Hey, that was dope, man. Hey, we did another live, man. That joke was 3.5 hours long. That was a dope live, man. I appreciate everybody that came through. I appreciate everybody who stuck through, man. I appreciate my big cuzzo over there, Rita, on that train, riding that train, man. All y'all train riders, I appreciate y'all coming up here, man. It was smoky up in here, but we cleared out the smoke, man. We learned something today, like we always do. But hey, man, I love it if y'all come over here more often, man, and just pop up on you, boy. You feel me? Like, we be over here having a good time, man. We be over here having a good time, and there's always a time to learn over here. So I thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. But we gotta end this live, man. And y'all know how I end the live, man. Let's go. Everybody put your arms around yourself. Give yourself a big hug, man. Love yourself and hug yourself, man. Love yourself and hug yourself. Everybody put your arms around yourself and repeat after me. Come on now, say self. Say self. I love you, self. Say I love you, self. And I'm going to continue being a better me so we can be a better we. Y'all already know how we rock it, man. Love yourself and hug yourself. Like my sister E say, peace and hair grease. Yo, when we up out of here, man, I got to play the outro on the way out. Let me go on and get the outro jumping on the way out. Hold on real quick. Let me get this thing busting over here on the way out. We got to get the outro going on the way out,
All these
man.
motherfuckers know.
Let's go. Let's go. How we coming on the way out? How we coming on the way out, man? Let's go. We gonna go like this. Hey, right up. Hey, kid up. What we tell them hoes? Hey, you ain't gotta love me, baby. What I tell hoes. Go to trip and I'ma buy me some Chanel hoes. Then I'ma rock this shit and put you on the cell phone. Get the ground, go to places from my cell phone. Independent big girl, and she got them from her family. Every night she said the mood and she don't like to argue. A lot of bad bitches still living with their mom. A lot of bad bitches still living with their mom. A lot of bad bitches still living with their mom. A lot of bad bitches still living with their mom. I do it, I stick it, I do it. Suppressor, I pressure, but this is a hose. I'm pumping, get brilliant, and shout out, let's go. It's up there, I'm ignorant, stop talking, let's go. Word around town, I'm with another nigga bitch. Gotta be alive, I'm busy dealing with my kids. You love your own and comfort, fuck what other niggas think. My food and whole retarded, pussy good on my thing. She know that we beefing and she started running game. She know we ain't speaking, can't get caught up in her way. Watch her from behind, gotta holler, that's okay. Slap her 9 times, run around, what you think? Look at my nigga, my Gucci. One time, his man is Gucci. Before they started twerking, they used to pop the Gucci. Before you started rapping, you were gangster, you was pussy. You know you scared of, hold up, there go OG moving. Running the bread up, I got hold it right here, moving. Control the yellow, I got shooters, who got shooters. It's on the real nigga, that's some shit that we not doing. We hot floss, my brother, like the way right on how we move. He can't drop me off, I can jump out and go stupid. Round way,
some way. Think y'all know how we do it. I'm saying, look at the text. You know, yeah, I can't relax. I'm on the phone with Gucci Mane. Got the I don't need more the bag. I'm in the building, we can relax. If we come near me, we can be strapped. We got some children, they gon' be strapped. Say you won't kill me, nigga, what's up? I got the purple goggles on. I'm been flexing on my phone. Hold up, nigga, watch your tongue. What the fuck is you on? Boom from the shoulder, beam, boom with some chrome. Dude thought it was a power, got removed from his throne. Bitch, I'm pressure on my end. 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 Bitch, I'm pressure on my end. I'm pressure on my end. Bitch, I'm pressure on my end. I'm pressure on my end. That's what I'm saying, retarded. When I walk in the room, you can't tell I'm running the damn man. What's happening with you? Rocking the shirt with a collar, I got it, we up. I feel like you waste my time, we up. Jumping your shit, got a problem, what's up? You think I don't got it, I'm about what's up? You know I'm right, you know I don't bluff. Walking you down, I stand in your gut. I do not care about money cut up. If this ain't public, it must be the crush. Crush! Anybody that knows me, whoever been around me or ever had opportunity to be blessed to be in my presence, I'm upright, independent, and fearless at all times. I don't engage in no bullshit. You know, that's with my little team. You know, other than that, you know, all relationships are circumstantial with me. I'm Prussia. Jumping the dashboard. I'm thugging a plain road. I still was suffering eternally whenever you came over. You told me whatever decision I make that we would remain close. But you gonna change though. Just try to remain sober. Keep dirt on my name, I maintained and I stayed focused. They get on Instagram and take shots at me thinking I ain't noticed. I got a thing on top of my neck, it got a brain on it. I got a thing inside my chest, it got some stains on it. I hit the shower, go work out, and I don't think on it. You throw your sword, get met with force, you can bank on it. I'm uptown in a Porsche, got my name on it. On South 12th, one of course, got my name on it. On Carolina and on Alice, got my name on it. Go ask Derek on St. Joseph, got my name on it. Prussia on my end. Now it's time to wild out. We don't do no drive-bys, we spin through and we hop out.
Straight out and run them bitches.